golden, but it's all too late. Another double for Guma. Faker is godlike, and T1 take game one.
What an impressive performance in game one from T1. They navigate the fights beautifully. Their target selection is exceptional. And they take the game, and they take the advantage in this series.
Absolute signature performance from the Faker Orianna. Putting into question who is the best player today. Might just be Faker. What do you think, Jess?
I think it might come up Faker once again, but we're not gonna call the series before it's over. That would be disrespectful to a Gen G that has been so strong. But we do have to talk about how good T1 was in this first game. In not necessarily an easy game to navigate in terms of drafts, and not necessarily an easy execution in team fights around those objectives. As Kobe is holding up a sign, but we can't see him yet.
He's holding up his prediction.
He is.
Well, I'm holding up the Faker
back.
quote. Faker from the intro quote.
Yeah.
Always goes hard, but he said, "We are back." And that moment by the Otacon fight, Shocks, where they had just lost it and it looked like T1 were going to get run out of Summoner's Rift, he finds a shockwave to keep them in it, and then they're able to turn that into the entire game.
It's so often at MSI Chronicler, it's been these kind of one-offs that have turned around the whole game, right? I'm thinking back to Ruler's Dragon Steel, for instance, but also this where he gets the two members on the edge of the shockwave, and it actually influences so much.
To me, the game was twofold. On one hand, Gen G really wasn't able to deal with the upgraded level of T1. I think that this was one of the more one-sided games we've seen between these two teams, and I think a lot of it came down to particularly the way that T1 was setting up the team fights. These multi-tiered engages was something that previously we saw AL do a lot. I also think I was surprised by the performance from Keen, who normally is consistent in that game, really didn't show up on Jax.
Yeah, and for the really early part of the game, right, it looked like Gen G had everything set up. They were playing it slow. But thanks to the reliable Cisco network, T1 get a pick, mid, and 2 towers with the Herald. So they actually did, Gen G, that is, end up trading this Herald for pressure on the bot side. Guess what? T1 recognized we can just pop Herald mid, race you to try to get first turret. And even though Duro tries to TP in to protect this, it just doesn't work. And this is kind of where the game broke open for me for T1, because after this, they were able to set up around objectives for those team fights they love so much.
Exactly. The reason I like this one so much is because it actually was not a team fight. It was a macro decision where you want to shove really hard with Herald. When you can get the double tower value out of a Herald, that is so big. Not to mention, as you said, you know, the teleport coming in for a little extra freebie on Braum.
Yeah, and I love that they recognized, okay, like Gen G want to race us for first turret. That's fine. Like, they're trying this cross-map play. This is our response. Came up huge.
And Gen G, they were looking for solutions, I want to say, because even though they had the early Dragon advantage, that turned all the way T1 as the game continued. And I want to take a look at this moment where Canyon really feels like he has to go in and steal it. He has to, otherwise the game is gone.
And this is not something, this is what I was referring to, we see often from Gen G, because they are disjointed. Keen going in there as deep as he does in particular, when Chovy is clearly trying to set up a slower play, is something that they need to fix going into game 2.
Look at the mini-map right now. The bottom lane for Gen G, got to do 0. Actually, that was a 3v5, and Gen G are the ones who started out. That particular Dragon fight was the most perplexing thing for me in this entire game that we saw, and that one just meant T1 started to run over.
And that is really concerning for me, for Gen G, because this is a team that we've talked about how stable they are, right? Like, when they are in sync, they're just undefeatable. To see this kind of disconnect between where Canyon and Keen are kind of trying to go in, their bot lane isn't there, and then Chovy feels like he has to fly in, it was totally out of sync.
Another hit tweet from Linda.
She just keeps it coming.
She keeps on coming. She reminded us that it's been 2,808 days since T1 and Gen G last faced in an international finals, because for the newer viewers, Samsung did become Gen G, and Ruler and Faker were both there.
And even though Ruler left, the fact that Gen G, as soon as it was clear was coming back to the LCK, immediately went back to this team. These two players, as highlighted, they aren't just still at the team, which in of itself is impressive, but they're still performing top tier. They're at a finals.
They are, and somehow Faker is performing even better than that. fun. It's insane to see. Hopefully, we get a lot of games between these two teams. But there's no better time than MSI Finals to upgrade your browser. Opera GX is handing out limited drops just for watching. Official champion themes to reskin your browser and a Riot Hub where you can watch MSI without tabbing out like it's 2012. It doesn't flame out, crash out, or steal your RAM. And yeah, the tabs glow. Upgrade to the gaming browser, download Opera GX, and we're gonna go to a quick break so you can do that right now.
Hunter in the dark. Master of night shots. Oppo Find XX series. Powerful camera, powerful AI.
around with the new physical card game, Riftbound, coming out soon before the cast. You can see Vedius and Azael playing a little PvP here. Vedius was caught off guard, I think, a little by how much damage Azael's cards did, but we had
And then he counterspelled me.
Yasuo's looking cheap, we'll just say that much.
Hey, win wall is win wall, in game or out of game. But ladies and gentlemen, there's only one game on all our minds right now, and it's game 2 coming up between our 2 finalists, Gen.G and T1, here at the MSI 2025 Grand Finals. Game number 1 was a slow burn at the beginning, but then T1's superior team fighting reigned supreme and earned them the win.
We were skeptical of T1's comp going in. Both Azael and I agreed that we favored what Gen.G brought to the table. But when it came to the straight-up team fights, T1 simply executed better. And they were able to outperform Gen.G, who I do think need to slow the game down a little bit in terms of how they approach these fights.
Absolutely agree. I mean, draft is so interesting because, to me, draft is kind of like a force multiplier, right? It can build you an advantage, but it cannot win you the game. And that is why it is so... so fun to watch these teams at the absolute pinnacle of the game execute on these compositions, because sometimes it doesn't go how you expect simply because someone performs at a level that you didn't anticipate or is able to think of a different way to play that you would not have considered. And I think that really is what makes it such a beautiful game to watch.
Certainly is, and I'm curious as to how these teams will adapt moving into game 2. In game 1, we saw the Nico, Azia, Victor bands come through from Gen.G to try and put some pressure on to Faker, thinking that they could get themselves the Talia, potentially get themselves the Varus, and the man just brings out his tried and true Orianna.
That Orianna just doesn't fail. The shockwaves finding opportunities again and again. We remember back to the first Drake fight when they tried to use Chovy's Weaver's Wall to secure the objective, and Faker instead starts off the fight with a catch on the 2. We remember the bot lane fight where Faker's at 10% HP, but he still has Shockwave, so he sticks around to guarantee that T1 can win it. The focus on mid lane did not do the job in the draft in game 1 for Gen.G, but it is fearless. The whole tournament's fearless. Those pools will naturally shrink over time, and getting to see the adaptations has been one of the most fun things about this tournament, if you ask me. Gen.G back on the blue side, T1 back on the red. The Nico gets banned away again by Gen.G, but this time they're going to ban the Rumble with it. Over on the T1 side, 2 of the same bans that they banned in the first phase in game 1, the Pantheon and the Varus, they're going to stay there. The only one missing is the Vi.
Yeah, the Vi Poppy trade is kind of prime real estate right now with the Annie gone. I really do think that these junglers are going to be the priority. The question is, though, like, do you necessarily want to prioritize the Vine knowing that that Poppy is open? And so that means that for Gen.G, what is that first pick going to be? We know we've seen Galio be very valuable, but mainly as an answer into the Rumble. So now that the Rumble's gone, do you consider taking the Galio away in this series in-game so that you can potentially increase the value of Rumble later on in the series?
Yeah, it will be really interesting. Azir going to be the final ban here. We have to see how high is the Vi priority going to be in this series. Are they willing to actually lock it in? Instead, it's going to be the Ryze, and I do prefer, we've seen a lot of Ryze versus Ahri Vi, and I really do kind of prefer difficult in the later stages of the game, even with a good engage, sometimes to be able to burst down these Ryzes, because we're just seeing Roa Archangels into Zhonya's. So your time where you have to get ahead is pretty limited. Like, you really have to be able to push the pace in the early game to actually focus down this Ryze.
I think that for T1, they should avoid picking their jungler right now. They should even consider their bot lane. What? The reason why I was going to say...
I believe they disagree.
They do, in fact, disagree. I was going to say because they could save their jungler for 3rd pick and then see what comes through from Gen.G and then either respond with a Poppy, or if a Poppy does come through, you have things like the Trundle. But instead, they really value the team fighting power of the Wukong, even with the Annie gone. I wonder if they do pick
All right,
the Ahri
there we go.
Just talking about Azael.
I also think denying Wukong from being Ryze's partner is a big goal with this pick as well, because a Realm Warped Wukong into the backline can be a serious threat.
So we saw Faker playing the Corki yesterday, so it could be mid-Corki. They kept that flex potential open until very late in that draft, and then they did lock in, I believe it was Azaya pairing with it for Guma to then reveal that it was going mid lane. So this absolutely could be a mid lane Corki here for Faker. Was very effective on it yesterday. Now the question is, do we have matching roles? Vi has been very high priority in the LCK and is going to be prized very highly once again here for Canyon.
But you could see the stats came up on the screen. 6 wins, 10 losses here so far at MSI. Very popular pick, but not necessarily a high win rate.
Not a high win rate, but you know what Camden's win rate is on it this split? 100%.
Okay,
and
well,
that's a little bit higher than the win rate of other people.
In that context.
So you can say Vi not performing that well, and I would ask you the question, was Canyon playing it?
All right, fair enough. You know what? Fair play.
Good counter argument.
Yeah,
that would hold up in court.
You're like, I tried out the Vi, it wasn't that good. I'm like, are you Canyon? You're like, my mistake. I apologize.
The flowchart, the classic flowchart.
Easy stuff. We do have the Scion locked in for Keen there in the top lane. So 2 unstoppable ultis here for the front line of Gen G in game 2.
I mean, we haven't seen, with things like the Gwen gone and the Jax gone, we haven't seen many carry answers into things like Scion. Normally we see some sort of tanky response. We could potentially see something, oh, never mind, we're seeing a Galio locked in, and we have to assume that this is going into the mid lane.
It could also be potential support, but I do think it is more likely that it is going to be in that mid lane. Sometimes you can see some of these kind of aggressive pairings. You know, Galio does do a decent amount of damage in the early levels, so sometimes I have seen pairings like that Corki Galio down to the bot lane, but we are kind of operating on the assumption that this would be a Galio in the mid lane and Corki for Guma.
I mean, Galio Wukong is also a very nasty combination. Wukong goes in, first knockup from Cyclone, second knockup is Heroic Entrance, third knockup is Cyclone 2. You're just getting juggled around with very little chance to respond. Very powerful combo in the scraps, as we do see double 80 carry bans from T1 in the second half. The Kai'Sa and Xayah banned away, while Gen G are getting rid of one of those potential carry top laners that could be played into the Scion. They don't want to see Doran Zambesa.
Yeah, and both these bans here for T1 make a lot of sense. Kai'Sa obviously as a pairing with the dive, and Xayah as someone who can actually survive the dive. The other option, if you are looking for something that is defensive, we have seen Senna. Jhin obviously is already gone, and then Ezreal. Those are kind of some of the ones that I do think can both work well with and against dive. So those are potential options here for Ruler. And again, you know, even more ability to flex things around. Like this could be Poppy support, this could be Poppy top. Like there is a lot of flexibility here with the T1 draft that is keeping things pretty spicy, honestly.
It's always the question of, are they cooking so hard that it's
The
insane
Poppy
brain,
pick.
like they've completely outdrafted, or have they cooked a little too much? Because the
have
question
they outdrafted their opponents or themselves?
Exactly, that is ultimately the question. Sure, Poppy can be very good into the Vi specifically, and I guess you could argue that by prioritizing these other bans, T1 have opened themselves up to
Nautilus and the
potential
Poppy is
counter.
crazy.
Gen G just rounding things out with a little bit more scaling. The Senna in the bot side of the map with follow-up engage from the Nautilus means that they've got good CC, good front to back, and good late game insurance.
Yeah, I actually really like it. As you said, you know, good front to back does help. You know, with the dive, you know, you're sending in that Vi, the Scion, the Nautilus into the back line here, and it's going to be Camille in the top lane. Doran had a spectacular performance, I remember, from playoffs here, you know, in the MSI qualifier, stole an Otacon away with the primed Q3 on the Camille, was really sick. So it will be Poppy support, it will be Faker playing the Galio mid. But again, Ruler on 100% win rate Senna, Canyon on 100% win rate Vi. I mean, Gen G wins a lot, so they have some pretty good win rates, but I feel like this comp for Gen G is absolute comfort.
I was really hoping we'd have a little bit more time to talk about the potential Camille, because we were just kind of fishing about it, looking at the potential picks that Doran could go for Azale, and then just like that, he slams it. The moment that fifth pick was available, they lock in this Camille. Galio Camille, I mean, this combo has been around for so long in
The
League
Senna
now.
ADC
It
is
gives
crazy.
you so much backline dive access, and we thought that Gen G's composition was about the dive. Well, T1 said, you know what, we'll do you one better. You try to dive us, not only do we have ways to dive back, but we've also got the Galio to assist with the dive or to provide peel. And it's going to become a question of which AD carry can survive the longest, because those two will be the main targets in these crazy team fights.
And I talked about some of the success that obviously the Gen G members were having on their champion pairings. And Doran has won all 3 of the games that he did actually play on the Camille this split, including that one that I was mentioning, you know, from the MSI qualifier run. It is definitely something that he is comfortable on, pairs really well with the composition like you were talking about, Vedius, and answers tanks well because of the true damage that everyone knows about. As you're scaling into the game, you really can still threaten these tanks with the true damage on the Q3. T1 already got the early lead, going to be looking to try to push us to match point here, but Gen G with a classic Gen G composition that can play through side lane for Chovy, that can have Ruler on this scaling champion. Looks like it's going to be a tough recipe to beat.
All right, Team Runes on your screen again, and once more, just like game number 1, it supports with Summoner's Spellbook, but as we wait for the action to start,
Summoner's Spellbook Poppy
is standing by for an interview with Pobelter and Lorlo.
What?
Absolutely
Some familiar faces here with the crowd. How are you guys doing?
I'm freaking excited.
So you were leaving the mood, the atmosphere here during game 1. How was it being with the crowd?
It's great. I mean, I think most people in the crowd are rooting for T1, so when they won, everyone was really excited.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm T1 fan for sure.
Okay, T1 fan. You were telling me that you think T1 has the better draft. What are we looking at here?
I'm mainly looking at Faker's Galio. It's an OG pick from him, and they have the Camille dive comp. Honestly, I'm looking at the Camille and Galio combo.
Pobelter, any comments on that?
I think Gen G is the better draft, actually, because they have 4 bruisers. Everyone besides Senna is really hard to kill, and they have low DPS on T1. But T1, I mean, Faker Galio just has like plot armor or something.
All right, let's see how this one goes, guys. Thank you so much. Casters, over to you.
For anybody who might not remember that plot armor he's talking about, remember just last year at the World Finals, Game 5 against BLG, Faker's Galio surviving in impossible situations. This guy is so good on this champion, and we will see if he can pull it off here against the Gen G comp.
Aaron Mace,
The beauty of hearing both of them talk about the draft just goes back to what Isaiah was saying, with compositions largely being amplifiers.
Doing good. How you doing? I'm gonna grab a LaCroix real quick.
The strength and weaknesses of both sides, and ultimately with the teams of this caliber, it's going to come down to execution.
It absolutely is, and it's always something really funny to me when I would do interviews with coaches, and I talk to both coaches, and both of them are like, yeah, we absolutely crushed the draft. These other guys didn't even see any of our picks coming. It's embarrassing. And then you go talk to the other coach, and they're like, can you believe they picked that? That's terrible, and what were they doing? And so even at the highest level, people have such diverging opinions on what is more important. Is it scaling? Is it side laning? Should you be playing for engage?
Nah, dude, the heat is crazy right now.
Dominance, and so it does make it so interesting, and it makes drafting so difficult for these coaches, where I feel like they've been able to shine more than ever because of Fearless, and because the complexity has been ramped up in the draft
Oh,
so
that's
much.
my green screen. Okay.
We've also seen teams struggle, especially in those game 5s when that pool really does get pinched. Of course, we're a very long ways away from that. But Sion,
Yeah, no, I bike, so it's been brutal outside, dude.
Effective answers into the champion. He feels so stalwart in his matchup. He feels so safe, just the way that he passively generates HP and becomes this immovable
Yeah, no, that shit
force.
threw me off.
Doran already feeling that pressure in the early lane.
Exactly.
I
I
was
mean, it
bugging.
has a lot of AoE wave clear. You can actually be an early lane bully. You scale very well. Like, he is just a strong champion. But these two teams are incredibly familiar with each other. They have matched up so many times. This is T1 versus Gen G this year.
I gotta stop going over this.
T1 winning the 1 series, Gen G 3. But as you can see, the game score quite close. And Owner heading down.
Yeah, we've already got a lot of damage there on Gumayushi, however, below 200. Carry up, rooted up
Believe
here on the
it.
front line. Again, that passive from Duro. The Nautilus's ability to lock down these targets means Ruler gets more firing time.
And I just really love how Gen G is actually playing out this 2v2. You can see that it is even fleet for Ruler. So what they're doing is just constantly taking short trades, chipping and poking away at Guma, and then just utilizing the sustain of the Senna to be able to get those HP positive trades. And Ruler, just like with his Lucian, so good at the pass-through Qs. He's always trying to shoot the Q through Duro, heal himself, heal Duro, still hit the enemy. And it does make it so Senna can really kind of grind you down. It is not a champion that you hit one hook and you just kill someone. Right. It is really about the slow advantages that you can build.
All right, Gumayushi already swapping up here to top side. We see these swaps from bot lane to top pretty often.
Yeah, this is League of Legends. They have their finals going on right now at MSI. So I used to play League of Legends a lot. So I felt obligated to watch, especially with Faker and all them playing.
They're pretty quick as well. Did go for the Swifties, so it's going to be running straight up. And Swifties obviously helps to keep you safe, but also one of the really overlooked things is it just helps you to stack. You can
big game in
close
Korea
the gap
and a lot of Asian countries.
Q has the slow. You can get in for that second auto to be able to grab an additional soul. There's so much of the power here of Senna, especially with these modern builds where people are going Shiv rapid fire. You need the AD from souls to actually have any sort of a punch behind your autos.
Yeah, immediately though, Carrier ready to keep on scrapping here, but Duro and Ruler do a good job.
Yeah, no, I'm just also grinding Hill Giants right now and old school, so I was like, I need something to react to, at least keep up with while I'm doing this. Otherwise my tiny little brain would like explode on stream and in game.
He'll use beautiful hook from Duro. Gumayushi with a flash. Ruler trying to follow as now Carry is the next target. Another shot goes through him. He shouldn't be low enough to die, but he is low enough that he has to flash away. Gen.G in the 2v2 coming out on top.
Really nice punish from Ruler and Duro. That hook, I mean, that felt illegal, I'm not gonna lie. Weaving between Carrier to connect onto Gumayushi means that they force them back. Trade of
early dragon
between the two AD carries could open up the junglers to set their sights on the bottom lane matchup, but it's T1 to initiate the swap once again as Duro actually TPs towards the river. Gen.G starting off the drag.
Yeah, Duro TP'd down, Carrier did as well, so both those supports getting down there. Duro just trying to cover, make sure the Canyon cannot be contested, and he cannot. And I've got to point out, Ruler stacking very quickly here. 24 stacks here. He already had, you know, by the time he based around 6 minutes, 33 is the average by 14. He is going very, very quickly. We're not even halfway to that point, and he is stacking up at a ridiculous clip.
Yeah, that could be a big problem when you look at the fact that T1's composition is 4 melee characters. If Senna's range becomes the entire screen, very difficult to deal with her at all.
And this is one of the problems, Senna, I love playing this champion. When you play a melee champion that can't hard engage on the Senna, it is just free stacking. Champions like Braum, champions like Tom Kench, champions like Poppy, who can't just threaten 100 to 0 like with a Nautilus hook or a Blitzcrank hook. You just step forward every time they go for a Targon charge, you're just going to be able to actually get a stack each and every time. And it really does allow you to accelerate. So Carrier has just been kind of free stacks thus far for Ruler.
I will say that hasn't stopped Carrier from constantly forcing these fights, but I think you're right in that it's only really benefited Ruler as this bot lane from Gen.G has continued to come out ahead. Right,
I'm trying to adjust my video settings right now because my shit is, I am white as hell. That is not right at the moment.
Immediately though, engaged.
Got a little tan on me. I feel like it's kind of, the contrast is really bright. I mean, oh, the solo.
It's a solo kill first
blood
for the Gen.G top lane.
It's the bossy special, the solo bolo there on the Scion, not to be underestimated. Knew the summoners were down, finds the angle and just knocks down Guma. And now there's no one actually answering him, so he's probably going to get a plate or two. At least one plate has already fallen. Owner, though, trying to answer on that top side. Carrier's behind them.
Yeah, Carrier wants to make his angle into the fight, and there's the heroic entrance. The Wukong Elio combo deletes Ruler immediately. And the second cast of the Cyclone mows Duro down. T1 respond with style.
That was beautifully executed by T1. Ruler given no opportunity to respond. Of course, he didn't have his flash from the earlier skirmish between the two AD carries, but the way in which T1 collapsed on that kill, they did it with ruthless efficiency.
I mean, that was just so clean, honestly. They see Keen solo kill on the bot side, not to be outdone. Guma could be in trouble.
Yeah, a lot of danger there. The Dawning Shadow doesn't hit him, so critically not low enough towards that 0 HP mark as Canyon forces Owner back out of the grub pit. It's still 2 grubs over the side of T1 though. Doran ready to go in, wants to chase after Canyon. Faker and Owner dealing with Duro off to the side as another Nimbus strikes ready to set it up with a Justice Punch, knocking him up into the air. And Owner ready to knock him right back down. Feet of Warfare, 3 kills. T1.
Yeah, Faker even able to donate that over to Owner, who now passes Mako with 1,110 assists internationally for 5th all time. T1 also should be able to grab that last grub if they want. They're not heading straight for it. Owner did win the smite fight.
Keen is here. I think that's the big problem. The Scion making his way back up towards this half of the map as Doran is ready to escort Carrier away. And just so much credit to Carrier with the game sense to be in that tri-bush to begin with, to start the play off, to initiate onto Ruler back when this first started, what feels like a minute and a half ago, and set up that play for the T1 Wombo combo. It earns them that feat of warfare. It earns them the grubs, 2 out of 3 of them at least, as Canyon does pick up the last.
And you can see Keen setting up a large freeze on the top side. So Doran is going to run back. Will lose about a wave there just because of this. These small things do add up over time. You know, building that experience advantage. You can hold this wave forever as Scion. It's not going to be an issue. Of course, eventually, you know, he will be breaking it with that Bomby Cinder, but nice to deny that full wave of experience and gold from Doran.
Ian feels monstrous right now, and it's Guma who's had a lot of the pressure thrown towards him. Dying in the 1v1 definitely doesn't help. But admittedly, he's still ahead in gold for now. He does have a farm advantage over Ruler. I think T1 getting that kill back onto the center was very important. But as you were keeping track of the stacks earlier, he's already at 36, just short of 11 minutes in. And I mean, Ruler is by far and away ahead of pace.
Way ahead of pace. I mean, the average stacks at 14 is 33.7 here at MSI. So, of course, he is already a couple above that with 3 minutes to spare to meet that clip. And generally speaking, the faster you stack, the faster you continue to stack. Because every 20 stacks, the range goes up. It gets easier and easier and easier to hit and collect those souls. And Ruler is doing an incredible job at that so far. And Chovy going to be able to get out to those side lanes now. Of course, working in towards the Roa and the Archangels.
This could be a play for Gen G, though. Keen going to start it off here after Doran interrupts the hook shot, and Canyon's ready to show up to seal the deal. Keen started walking away,
evening out a little bit.
Give the kill to Canyon,
That's good.
but still ends up taking it himself. So that'll be a Scion 2-0 now. Keen set to be a big brick wall for Gen G.
T1 on the cross map, though. They will equalize the Dragons. Chovy wisely tries to push out that bot wave before Faker can respond, so he's going to be safe on the weak side. Going to start moving through his bot side jungle as Canyon even steals away the Raptors. So Gen G looking to be as proactive as possible after securing that kill, and they actually swing the gold back to neutral.
T1 now only one objective away there from claiming the feats. If they can get this Herald or the next Dragon, it would be theirs. Of course, if they can grab a first tower before that, also would be theirs. So Gen G gonna have to defend these pretty hard.
One big thing that just came online here, Trinity Force plus level 9 for Owners Wukong. This is a big power spike for this champion. Considering Owner has been a part of all of the kills so far here for T1, I expect them to be confident for any play they want to look for now with him hitting this big power spike.
I mean, Keen as well, you're looking at the other side. He is the gold lead for Gen G. And this guy is going to become a brick wall. There are 4 melee champions over on the other side. And you know, it is going to be very difficult to actually fight past Keen and to ignore him in these fights to try to get in towards the Senna, in towards the Rise, which is going to be the job that they have to accomplish.
And the current game state for him, this window where he has his first tank item fully completed, which has a lower price point than the very expensive Trinity Force, it's so obnoxious for Doran to try to deal with on that Camille, just with Trinity pieces into the Sunfire Aegis, as that individual gold lead for Keen is almost up to 1,000. And you can see Doran tries to kick him. He does more damage to himself because of the immolate, as now this could be a nice catch. Duro slammed to the wall by Carrier, forced to get away there.
That's good flash.
Trying to not give away too much HP to the T1 ambush.
Losing both summoners ahead of Herald is going to make a potential contest very difficult for Gen G. Chovy and Canyon hovering on the bot side of the map. Faker has that spidey sense, though, is aware of the possible collapse. Canyon is committed to the play, though. He's hovering around. It looks like Faker is not expecting this.
Okay, let's see if the Galio can get away from it. Faker does have his flash. He'll just use the taunt to make a little bit of space. He barely takes any damage at all. Now Carrier and Owner are ready to show up. There's no counterpunch available, though. Chovy and Canyon can make enough distance. They've got Duro coming up behind them. Neither side gets a whole lot of anything. As we look back up at the top lane, and it's the same story one more time. Keen has control over the 1v1 matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Keen is just looking so strong right now. Doran just trying to get enough gold for a Triforce before he bases, because he doesn't want to TP back without it, but he is getting so low.
With the turret, Doran almost wins the trade.
I mean, he's in dive range now. He's got to be so careful. If Keen hits him with an ult, he's going to die.
Keen walking forward, but runs out of minions before he can continue to posture more aggressively. You can see Duro walking up to this topside river. The Herald is going to spawn in 20 seconds. The Scuttle Crab is also about to spawn in the top river. This is very important to try to control if you know that Herald fight is upcoming. Faker now trying to deal with Keen's Scion that has stacked mostly armor, as Carrier and Gumayushi are going in. Ruler under a little bit of pressure, but he roots up Guma. Fires back with a little bit of damage as Gumayushi continues trying to escape. Has to flash. Doran's made his way into the back line. He wants to go after Canyon. Owner engages here with the Cyclone. Followed up with a Hextech ultimatum with the Dawning Shadows ready to back him up. Canyon staying alive, but T1 gets the kill, and Gumayushi.
It's honestly worth learning on, like, if you're bored. It's fun to watch, just like, it's like watching like soccer without knowing how to play.
Because of his positioning. Ooh, a bit of danger for Doran.
Football.
Rune prisoned up immediately. Flash over the wall from Duro for the dredge line. Doran down.
That was a
means
goofy.
Gen G now have
Rise ult,
to
man.
make an aggressive move. You can see the blue pings coming out in this topside river onto the Herald pit. Canyon is now back on the map. He's running up towards the objective, and the rest of Gen G are happy to start this up.
So these are like the biggest teams right now in the finals.
You deny the objective from T1, but it almost guarantees you the first tower as well. You can see that top lane tower is already a little bit low. So is the bot lane one. Keen has had the push non-stop. And as a result, this could mean feats of strength go the way of Gen G. We'll see if they can actually claim it. They would need first tower plus one additional objective. They definitely have the edge for the first tower.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what makes this so fun. T1 have already claimed Feat of Warfare. First tower should, by all measures, go over to Gen G, and they're both at 2 neutral objectives, which means this next dragon, spawning in just 30 seconds, has even more importance.
It's also Faker. We haven't talked about the fact he is solo AP, so he is going to be building pure AP on the Galio so far. He already has the Leandries. Going to be likely building.
Yeah, it takes a lot of learning and dedication.
Just to be able to go in for those aggressive plays, flash on the back line.
I've just been like in the game for so long at this point.
In these fights, so
it's just like
finally ticking over to level 11.
It grows on you. You start picking things up and understanding what's going on. It just takes a lot of kind of sticking with it.
This pressure. The dragon is now alive. It's T1 with fantastic vision coverage around the bot side of the map. The contest for that mid-wave control is there as Canyon threatens to shadow Chovy looking for a pick.
Yeah, Doran trying to make sure that he doesn't get caught out here. Not too worried about Chovy's rise with nobody else in range to back it up, but it is still the bottom side river control that belongs to T1. Already, they started up the
I like Baldur's Gate, yeah. It's more like RuneScape, I'd say, than League.
It's Canyon ready to start it, Chovy ready to finish it. T1 had lost
has more of that kind of fantasy feel. I mean, this has a lot of fantasy in it as well, but it's more competitive.
That means Gen G now automatically take control over the river. T1 is forced to retreat, and the objective will go to Gen G.
Different kind of fantasy, I think.
Fight in mid lane, but Gen G find a pick onto Doran. Bot side of the map. T1 have priority over
more
the dragon,
concept building opposed to thematic landscape and stuff like that.
Very much to punish this Camille at every opportunity, and it is working. They now lead in dragons. They secure that Feat of Warfare, and they are so close to securing the first.
I hear that.
I just think it's so intelligent because the Camille is such a core piece of this composition. It's not just about a 1v1 or anything like that. A lot of their success,
I think Steam has like a
Doran being strong enough to fly
2-hour policy thing.
Owner and Faker's ult over the top to be able to knock down these carries, and they're putting Doran in a spot where he is just constantly on the back foot. Gen G gonna be able to take this tower. You have to think no problem. They don't even have to use the Herald to do it, and that is fantastic. That is gonna be the feats of strength there for Gen G. So they get the upgraded boots. They have the side lane advantage here for Chovy, and they are looking really strong.
And remember what I said last game, feats of strength with immobile carries just feels that much better. When you look at Senna, when you look at Rise, they're both just running. And now Gen G can get them where they need to be even faster. 1,500 gold lead.
I'm big into like Oblivion, things like that. Like the remake was really good.
As Keen will face check into a brush, I don't think he's ever really worried about doing that. We'll see though if T1 can punish. They try to unload onto the tank.
I don't have a huge history of Resident Evil, honestly. I want to get into it. It's just so much lore to it, and I need to find a lot of free time. Ooh. I could play it on stream at some point, I think. That'd be kind of fun.
Tries to get away, but the Justice Punch will find no escape. A double kill to Chovy's Rise as Doran and Gumayushi barely hobble away. Canyon doesn't want to let him, and he's still looking for a little bit more. Doran and Gumayushi barely getting out of that one as Canyon still seeing if there's an opportunity here. He has the ulti if Guma sticks around, but he won't. He bounced over the wall. He gets back to the safety of the base. The fight for Gen G as they are so hungry for even more.
This fight started by their blue buff. It ended in T1.
2 through 6. It sounds like
absolute insanity there as Duro even
sounds like the play.
Gets 3, if not
did they ever remake 2? I feel like they did at some point. They had to, right?
They did knock down Keen, but it took them so
and if they did, is it like worth playing?
So many resources and so many players to be able to do it. That it
or is it like the original kind of the way to go?
I think you summarized it perfectly, Azael. Once they'd used all those resources, they were forced to retreat, and Gen G just hunted them down, pick after pick. A healthy gold lead is now what they sit on as the fight for the Scuttle Crab.
Doran takes it. Keen might be really hard to kill, but he's not a very effective crabber at this point in the game. 887 bonus HP on this Scion, though, and it takes forever to bring him down.
So it comes back to what Azael was saying. All of the focus comes down onto Keen. Exhaust was used, he flashes away. There's that multi-man knock-up, but they eventually get that kill. But at this point on the re-engage, Gen.G's in the better position.
Exactly, and Duro, he gets chunked out of the fight and he realizes, you know what, I can still be involved. Look at this, drives through everyone on T1. Let's count the knockups. 1, he hits 2, he hits 3 as well onto Keria and Doran. That was crazy. We're on Otacon, though. We're going to keep going.
We're already back to live, and the Otacon's halfway dead. T1 want to
yeah, I don't know what an Otacon is.
Control of the area for now. They full send it. They want to go in after Dora, but they can't find enough damage to kill him here at the very start. T1 with a counter punch, but nothing just yet. Duro the first to die. Owner's got to try to get himself back away, but Faker's already down. Owner will follow. Gen.G 2 for 1, and they don't want to stop just yet. Chovy sends himself to his own death. And Gumayusi into the back, looks for Ruler. He finds him. T1 turning it around. Keen, the last man standing on Gen.G, and he wants even more. The shield ready to proc. Gumayusi ready to drop, and it's a bloodbath in top lane.
You know, the shoutcasters go crazy in this game.
He will not be knocked down, but what a fight there from T1. It looked like it was going to be all Gen.G, but
bro, his soul was in that.
Went a little bit too aggressive. The early part of the fight went fantastic for them as Doran goes in on Chovy, gets chunked down incredibly low from the focus fire, and Ruler is just kiting it out alongside Chovy. With the carries unthreatened here from Gen.G, I was thinking this was going to be a slow fight, but it was going to be theirs.
And Carrier's Poppy knocking Keen out at the very start of the fight makes it look so advantageous, but then Chovy goes in too deep, and T1 is quick to punish.
And what happened there? Keen thought he was in the realm warp. He stepped just barely out of it. He was too far. He thought he was on the very edge. So Chovy thought he was going in with the Scion. He shows up by himself, gets burst down, then Guma flashes onto Ruler, knocks him down, turns around what could have been a disaster there, but tiny differences. If Keen was in that realm warp, it could look pretty different.
I got too excited.
The biggest takeaway from
Free dragon though.
Is Keen is the raid boss in this game.
Yes.
T1 will need to find a way to get through him, and you can see the Corki damage. I want to guesstimate that about half of that went into Keen.
Yeah, he did about as much damage as the 2 highest on Gen.G put together. Duro looking to go in here with the dredge line. There's no follow-up damage from Gen.G just yet. Faker's getting juggled.
It sounds so much like an auctioneer. He could kill it at auction houses. And hire him on spot.
Is running towards the other side of the map. He's got backup nearby, but Gen.G are on the hunt. Can they find anything else? Will they overextend? No, they're going straight after the Otacon instead. Doran, Owner, and Keria all nearby. Faker still with a grand entrance to try to join up if he wants to, but it's all 5 from Gen.G here in the objective.
They don't have Gumayusi here. Oh, that
Keria. He wanted to find the Keeper's verdict to try to make it a fair fight, to try to give T1 a chance, but they won't get it. A nice flash to dodge that potential ulti as now Doran gets found out. Keen doesn't hit.
So I think they were killing there. That's, I don't know what that does. That's when I quit playing.
Immediately into the dredge line to follow. Doran's gonna hex tech ultimatum, but the only ultimatum is you're getting out of here. Gen.G.
I hear that. That's probably a good thing, honestly. I feel like that competitive aspect kind of makes you want to come back and keep coming back. I feel like it's like healthier to step away for a little bit.
Forced T1's hand and started off the Otacon. Great map play. Great pick from Chovy. Gen.G firmly in the lead here in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, they're just looking so strong, and with Doran, the focus on him, he has been put so far behind. It doesn't feel like they have a true second.
Yeah, competitive games make you feel like you need to like redeem yourself in some sort of way.
The only one that seems like it's doing anything to Keen right now. Faker, of course, is building AP. He has the Riftmaker as that second item. Yeah. Owner's on 2 items as well, but it's just not going to be enough to ever threaten Keen.
And then you stay up for like seven hours past when you're supposed to go to sleep or whatever, and you keep losing over and over, and you can't go to bed on a loss.
He has 4 kills, 6 assists and plus 60 farm.
Not exactly. Some people enjoy that though. I feel like it's like people have a stressful day, you play a game, and you can kind of direct your frustration at a game or something. I don't know. But I think that's like the most toxic way to play a game. I feel like that. I feel like that's just like.
Keen just choo-chooed straight into Owner.
Like writing a journal or something, you know? Like.
The jungle are gone, this becomes a very challenging steal.
Okay, Carrier doesn't have smite right now. I'm looking at the scoreboard.
Get your thoughts down on paper.
Backing away from it. Carrier with the smite ready to go. The smite going over the wall, but it's still going to be claimed by Canyon. T1 will lose their support. Will lose the Baron. Will lose Gumayushi. Will lose control in game 2. 6,000 gold lead. Gen G.
Carrier tried to go for the steal for the Heroics. T1 know this game is quickly slipping away from them, but Canyon outsmites him. Is able to grab it and secure that.
And again, another kill.
Yeah, they're sneaky.
After the fact, this Camille picked late in the draft. This Camille, so important for the
blindside you.
2 and 6. There's not a single man on Gen G who's not ahead of his counterpart. Game number 2, they're in total control.
I mean, Ruler's closing in at 100 stacks here. This is ridiculous how quickly he is stacking up. Gen G feel like they have this one pretty much wrapped up. It was the late swap over to Smite, and Gen G realized, okay, there could be a contest. We got to back it out. But then T1 just decided to go in. Carrier flashes in. Guma goes in. They full send it to try to burst it down. Ooh. It is smoked down from about 1100 HP. This was not the upgraded Smite for Carrier, so it had to be lower. I do believe it upgrades based on how many times you swap to it with the spellbook. And I think that was his first Smite swap. And now he's on it again here. So this would be an upgraded one. And they're going to need to try to steal this dragon away because it is
like I don't know what the smite swap means. That term is wild to me.
This far ahead, you're never killing him.
I mean, look at how tanky this composition is. Nautilus, Vi, Rise, Scion. You add a little bit of Ocean Soul spice in there, you've got yourself meatball soup. There is no way that T1 will be able to punch through it.
Meatball
they have
soup.
to realize that. It's 25 seconds until the Drake spawns, but the bottom side river is totally controlled by Gen G.
Gen G just continuing to exert their pressure on the map. They know
that's how you get a clip.
T1 getting a little creative as Owner creates a flank.
I used to be a lot worse, and I used to get so mad at like League or
if you don't find Ruler,
any of these kind of games. Just stepping away helps so much.
Finally going to be spotted now, and they could just look to try to pincer him. Chovy's not afraid at all.
Yeah, Owner did a great job playing around the fog there for a little bit. But
I've been enjoying RuneScape though. RuneScape's so casual. It's like the most casual. I'm watching something while playing it.
And the Dragon's alive. Ocean Soul for Gen G.
An easy pick for Gen G.
Super chill.
A slippery play from Owner. But it's the MasterCard price this moment. Dragon Soul secured. Keen with the dive.
Immediately engages on Doran, and Chovy's ready to follow. Doran is sent to Rune Prison, and Chovy is the warden. Gen G keeping the push going.
Free Chovy.
For another 15. Doran dead for more than 30 seconds. A Baroned up Gen G making their way into the T1 base with a 10,000 gold lead. With a Dragon Soul, they've got their sights set on the Nexus itself. Gen G continue pushing forward as Carrier tries to dive after Chovy. Keeper's Verdict ejects the Rise, but the Dawning Shadow reinforces Gen G health bars. The first Nexus turret still stands as Guma tries to get some damage back, but Keen is simply too tanky. T1 finally have their jungler back alive, and with Doran about to respawn, they're thinking about trying to find something here on Gen G, but they're so strong, they're so tanky, they've got so much regen, but T1 still thinks they've got to try something here. Doran goes in, he wants to go over the wall and find Chovy, he does, but Keen prevents any backup from arriving. Faker with a grand entrance, but it's only for his own exit. Doran is already down, Faker's about to follow, as Keen is not
Minecraft is good, dude.
Still damage from Owner, but nothing worth mentioning.
It's probably one of my favorite continuous games. Just kind of go back to. Some games you've been playing that are open, like Zelda or like Breath of the Wild sounds cool too.
Exceptional protection.
I don't know if you have a Switch or anything. But.
Desperately tried to find something back, but it was not enough.
Nexus turrets are just a formality at this point. Gen G with the tanky comp strikes back in game 2.
Nice, 1-1. I think it's best of 5.
Absolute comfort there for Gen G in game 2, and they showed why some of these champions are undefeated. It was perfection from Ruler.
I'm only really familiar with DayZ. I'm not sure about Scum or 7 Days to Die I've seen as well, I think. But
it's over to the desk to find out what they think.
Well, Chovy
it seems very Resident Evil survival kind of idea.
Gen G fights back.
Like the theme of it.
Special guest on the desk to talk about this game. Welcome, Meteos.
Hey,
hello. So, yeah, first thoughts. What do you think about that
They
game?
have some cool jackets.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised that Gen G won this one because, especially with T1's insane plot armor and getting momentum in game 1, I thought it was looking good.
Hell yeah.
I really like their heavy dive comp. You know, Camille
Zombies are tough.
Seemed really strong.
Yeah, I live in Atlanta, and they came out with a.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, good
They did a lot of
observation
filming for Walking Dead and
so,
stuff
Emily,
down
when
here.
you look at that comp and then you see what T1
That's
is
pretty
able
dope.
to do early, you think, uh-oh,
It's cool to like
is
see
this gonna
different
run away? So how did Gen G stop it?
different places
We've
just
talked about
around
in
that I've been to
Fearless a lot of times,
in the
even
show.
as early in game 2, right? You have two compositions that have very clear ideas of what they wanted to do, and I agree with Meteos. I actually thought, even with the scaling that's on Gen G's side, I'm like, this is a risky comp to pull off with what T1 have. I think it came down to a lot of the laning 2v2. Like, even after they swapped, there was that point where Senna Nautilus was able to blow
Zombies are
those
tough though.
flashes
I like
on,
zombies,
top
vampires, all
side.
that shit.
Then Ruler stacking, for anyone who was tracking Senna stacking, was like mega accelerated throughout this entire game.
And that ended up being really important because of some of the early heroics from Keen. They needed this little bit of bridge to allow Chovy and Ruler to scale a bit. And Keen in this one had massive plays early on the Scion. You know, a lot of these swaps, he was coming out ahead, and then he got this solo kill onto Guma, and then he had the play up on top side as well, interrupting Keen to allow for that game to work as he was about to escape.
Yeah, Meteos looks like a lot of the top laners you used to play with, right? That good?
Yeah, more
That's
or
what's
less.
up.
You know, I played with some Korean imports. A lot of them are really good, but I was super impressed by Keen this game. I was a little bit surprised that Doran opted for Camille and Scion just because when I think of these two players, I don't think.
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 seasons, the 3. No, actually, that's a lie. I watched like 4 seasons, I think. But then they started killing off like and rotating out cast members and stuff like that, and I was just like, I don't know these new folk. I don't got that connection.
Yeah, and I do wonder what this is going to spell for the rest of Fearless for T1, Emily, because we didn't really talk about it that much in the pre-show. For Doran, it is his first international final, and he's had kind of some games that aren't to be remembered on the international stage as well, and I feel like he's been given this chance now in game 2, right, to get the skill matchup, and I feel like maybe he's going back.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how like how the Game of Thrones fans were and stuff like that.
Chronicler would say
They all.
You see all sides of Doran
like,
throughout LCK.
Somebody got killed, and it'd be like
here at this event. I think the big
all
difference
over
to me
Reddit.
is that he's been able to recover really well, and I do
Motherfuckers
think
would go,
it
or like
speaks to
X and shit like
how
that. People
he's
just go
been able
crazy.
to integrate onto this T1 team. I will say, I want to pull up a team fight from
I would
just
want to watch
before,
Game of
like,
Thrones.
19
It's just
minutes,
there's
where
something
he
about it for
actually
me
just
that
walks in, face checks, and because he's so
it really just like
large at this point in the game,
I don't know how to
it
explain it.
takes so long to
It just
kill
felt
him.
empty, and there were like a lot of characters to memorize.
Everyone is able to end up
It
joining,
just felt
and
like
this
flooded.
to me is where Gen G really start rolling in the game.
I feel like if I
why
took
a
it
lot
like
of the
one
early
show at
plays
it,
that
like
he made were so
one
important
episode or
because
2
he
episodes at a
was
time,
a big part of
kinda
the
like
Gen G gold lead early
had some
on.
time to
Almost all of it.
process what I
Yeah,
saw
allowed him to be
and
so tanky there, you know,
come up
soaking
with
so
certain
much
like
for T1,
ideas. I
allowing
feel
them
like that
to
would make
get
it a lot
some
more
of this
interesting.
money onto their carries that they needed in the chase down. Even though he died, so much value there.
Yeah, Senna scaling is sometimes fake. It depends on who's playing. Like when Ruler's playing, it really doesn't matter.
Sometimes it's real.
And sometimes it is absolutely real. So, Chovy.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Meteos,
That shit.
of course, this is the mid lane matchup we're
It's
looking
just
at.
like-
Faker had a fantastic
Like
game.
what?
Easy to play out.
Half
He's
the time
got
it's just
the
like,
back
why?
line.
Why do they do that? What what is happening?
Well, historically, it does seem like Chovy usually gets the best of Faker, especially domestically, but Internagic behind them. So many times I've seen T1 internationally where time and time again they manage.
I just remember
to
there was like
underdogs
the first
winning
year that had like a
tournament
wolf or
and then
something,
winning it
and they were
the
like,
entire
"Can I
thing.
keep it?"
So, I
And
still
then
think
dude
they'll
was like,
win,
"Yeah."
but,
Yeah, you're definitely
Just like, where did this
a
wolf?
believer. You've
Where did this little
mentioned
dire
magic,
wolf come
you've
from?
mentioned
What's
the
going
plot
on?
armor, and regardless or if you subscribe to that narrative or not, you feel that in the game as Gen G. And Kobe, I think we also saw it in this game where this were a couple of fights, right? Like the one where Gumayushi gets a triple that you think, no way. It just proves that Gen G does have to.
And then like out of nowhere, it just kept going, getting like sadder. I just felt like I progressively just was like, oh, that happened. Damn. All right. It never like got better. Everyone was just like upset the whole show, or like had a reason to be mad.
Chovy made a lot of his damage really count.
He did. Seems like we're on course for 5 games. Yesterday also, the blue are wins for T1, and they've picked blue going into game 3. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with that one.
I feel that. Sometimes you just gotta be like, dog, it was what it was, but you know, ain't my speed. Just gotta like, then you gotta avoid them for a while until, or like not avoid them, but be like, avoid that topic for a while and be like, yeah, you know. Whatever. I think I'm gonna go make some food real quick. I'm starving. Oh, they got these ads. Is that Wukong? Yeah, so if you're not here by the time I get back, it's great talking, but I'll be back in a sec. Actually, let me make sure my character doesn't explode. Oh shit. Wrong way. Oh, I keep passing it. There you go. Alright, I'll be back.
Alright guys, I just landed in China. Let's go.
Play the local way. Pay your way.
Have you ever seen the Great Wall at night?
Play the local way. Pay your way.
Dominate the Rift with Opera GX, the ultimate hub for all things LoL esports. Get access to exclusive rewards, customize your setup with champion-inspired themes, and seamless LoL esports tournament integration. Follow every play, see every result. Only on the browser for Legends. Only on Opera GX.
Chovy. He does, but Keen prevents any backup from arriving. Faker with a grand entrance, but it's only for his own exit. Doran is already down. Faker's about to follow as Keen is not even dented. Still damage from Owner, but nothing worth mentioning. A double for Gen G. It's only Carrier left, and he won't last long. One last shot from Ruler rules out any chance of a T1 stall, and Gen G march it into the base. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this MSI 2025 Grand Final between T1 and Gen G. T1's superior team fighting took over in the first game, but once game 2 hit, Gen G drafted a powerful tanky comp and an incredibly quickly stacking Senna to fight right back.
And I feel like those kind of compositions, no one in the entire world plays as well as Gen G. When they get that sort of a comfort draft, I feel like they're near impossible to beat.
And I just feel that they played with such composure. We said that we wanted to see them slow the game down. And I mean, what better way than with a Scion getting a solo kill onto the enemy AD carry, and Scion pretty much walking wherever he pleases. And honestly, just Scion just doing Scion things. Yeah. Of course, it would be a disservice of us not to mention how impactful Chovy was. That Rise, yes, kind of the quiet carry, making so many impactful plays around the map, putting so much pressure down, working with Canyon. An overall solid performance, and it ties us up as we jump into our third draft of the day, presented by Omen and HyperX.
First thing to note, because T1 lost the last one, this is going to be the first time that we get to see them have side selection. They've chosen to swap over to the blue side. So that means these bans are going to switch up a little bit, but only in terms of who's banning them. All of these champions have been bans already in the first half of the series. Back in game number 1, Gen G on blue banned both Victor and Nico. T1's doing the same thing here. Back in game 1, it was Pantheon and Varus banned by T1 on the red side. Gen G doing the same thing this time, as Cassante will be T1's final ban in the first half.
I don't know if that was Keen Sante.
Keen Sante,
going to be banned
my apologies.
Away. Yeah, the one and only. I mean, that man is an absolute monster on this champ. But T1 do not want to deal with it here in game 3.
I mean, if I just saw that Scion game, I'm like, wait, Cassandra does more damage than that Scion? You're not allowed to play that.
You're completely right. Ooh, okay, with the Skarner band, the typical pair up alongside the Azir, that does suggest that Gen G are willing to give that one away.
Yeah, the posters are amazing here, I gotta say.
The Azir being open is the big thing that I'm looking at here. T1 with that first pick, and there it is. They'll lock it in for Faker.
The Emperor of the Emperor of Emperors will make his way onto the Rift. In the hands of Faker, no less. Gen G will have to have a good response. We saw with the Victor ban coming through that they were prepared, that they could get their hands on it, and I think the response here is fantastic from Gen G. Get Keen on the Rumble, a big power pick in the meta as well. You do still have the Xin Zhao available too, and with the Poppy already removed, the Xin Zhao Rumble would be a fantastic pairing.
Absolutely, but I mean, Faker, so iconic on the Azir, 7-1 on it this split, and he has been known for this champion so many times. Ruler and Faker have history with these champions, catching him, with the flash ulti. It is his most played all time. It is a nearly 70% win rate all time. It is a dangerous proposition to give this champion over to Faker.
Especially when it's been banned in the first 2 games, now here in game 3, getting through as the pools do become smaller naturally. T1 lock in the Nocturne for Owner.
Nocturne getting it locked in. I do wonder if we would get an Ornn as an answer into Keen's Rumble here. Would give them some additional engage. Yep, there it is. I do think it's a really good matchup for Ornn. You actually can trade very effectively with the Bellows Breath because Rumble is quite short range. It's actually really risky for Rumble to go in for some of these trades. Ornn can do very well in the early stages, and then you kind of just outscale and you have this incredible engage for your team fight. And it feels like they are already setting up for clear. They want to play front to back in this really powerful scaling style.
I was really excited to see Chovy Silas. It looks like it's going to be the Annie instead. So Gen G going for very much a mid-game teamfight spike. A lot of burst at their disposal. The Annie flash combo, the Rumble ultimate to facilitate. But I already like that T1.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mute.
Teamfight comp in response. I'm thinking champions like Ezreal would fit nicely in what T1 is drafting.
I mean, I think I'm banning Ezreal Xayah if I'm Gen G, probably, because the reality is it's like you want some sort of a scaling carry like you're talking about for Guma, and you want something that is going to be easy to kill if you're Gen G. You know, they need to have a great dive target. Senna is already gone. That has already been played. Jin is already gone. That has already been played. Instead, they're going to be targeting some of the supports here for Keria, which is interesting to me to see how they're going to react.
I mean, Rel rises in priority a lot with a lot of the engage supports already removed from the pool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rel, Leona.
There's also the opportunity for Gen G to just prioritize the Ezreal themselves, maybe as a denial, or maybe even take away the Xayah if they consider the amount of dive on the side of T1 threatening. The Tom Bench actually going to be removed, so Duro not going to be providing that protection for Ruler this time around.
We talk about engaged supports being out of the picture, but when you think about Rel, when you think about what can work into her with counter engage, you look at some of the things like Poppy, like Braum, like Alistar that are already banned for the rest of the series.
Yep.
Some of those powerful choices are just no longer an option no matter what, as Rakan will be the last ban here in Game 3 for Gen G.
It kind of feels like they're saying the Rakan almost is the Xayah ban, like saying like this is the better half of the pairing, and a lot of the coaches and players that I've been talking to have been saying that they think Xayah is so much less effective without that Rakan pairing. So they often feel like they can kind of get a 2-for-1 on that ban. Whether that is the case, in T1's opinion, remains to be seen. They are targeting some of these denial picks here. The Tahm Kench, an interesting ban here. Mostly we do just see it alongside the Senna, so I'm a bit surprised to see that Tahm Kench was banned away.
They might be wary of something like a Jinx, because that's the other pairing that we've sometimes seen on the bot side of the map for Ruler. If they are leaning more towards, like, because again, if T1 want a front-to-back teamfight composition, I think that they would be afraid of enemy team picks Jinx and they don't have any way to lock that Jinx down. So removing the Tahm Kench gets rid of some of that peel. The Kai'Sa being paired alongside it so that the follow-up through from the Xin Zhao diving in with the Annie means that that's going to be taken out of the pool.
Also a little bit of recent history trauma there, maybe against Gen G on the Jinx. The Game 5 of the upper bracket finals, Ruler deathless in that one on the champion was a massive impact. And there's the Rel that you brought up, Vedias. That'll be locked in here. Pick number 4 for Gen G for the big engage.
Sounds good.
Think back just yesterday, you know, Guma as well, his Jinx was not to be outdone. It had some stellar gameplay on it. The Xayah is available, and they are considering it. You know, again, these are the two ADs that I was expecting, which is why I was kind of thinking a ban might be coming through between that Xayah and the Ezreal. And we'll see.
The Caitlyn.
He absolutely did. I mean, T1 have been such trolls with the hovers, so I'm never going to trust the hovers.
I never comment on it until they lock it in.
Don't worry, I will, guys. Don't you worry about it.
You're
the Twitch chat of the house. All right, well, we do get the Xayah. One of the picks definitely I did expect. It feels like you need to have a safe AD carry, right? You know, you're just such an obvious target. The one thing I will say is that Nocturne feels a little bit disjointed from the rest of the composition, so they do need something else to kind of fly in with you. It is going to be Renata. So Renata winless at MSI, but you can just blame Kalista if you're a T1 fan. Just blame Kalista. It's not Renata's fault. She's getting dragged down. She's hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Kalista is the queen of the dumpster at this MSI at 0 and 10. However, Renata is still dumpster royalty right there with TF. Both of them 0 and 8 at this event. We'll see if T1 can break that curse here, as the AD carry for Gen G will be Sivir.
So Sivir rising in priority, it feels like over MSI. You know, with the Kai'Sa banned out, this is a pick that people don't traditionally think of it as working with a dive comp, but it enables it because of the ultimate, because of the speed up, and you can kind of ricochet through the front line to act as the back line here. A lot of really iconic picks, though, coming through for a lot of the players. Owner 24 and 4 on the Nocturne, Chovy 11 and 3 on his Annie, and Keria 30 and 9 all-time on Renata. So some really strong picks here.
The thing about the spell shields that you've got to be careful of is it's not that effective against Nocturne. If you pop the spell shield early, you won't be blinded. That's not going to stop Nocturne from flying
you will be dead.
It's a two-part spell. Ideally, you want to be saving that for things like the Shurima Shuffle, potentially the Renata ultimate, potentially the Ornn ultimate. But you can see that as the list goes on, there's quite a few things that you need to be cautious of. And as a champion, while she does get that movement speed from an ultimate, she's not going to get a lot of peel. And this ultimately becomes the big point of concern for Gen G. There is a lot of backline threat with Ornn and Nocturne and a Renata there to support them. So we'll see how these teamfights play out, because it's going to be explosive.
It really is. And honestly, I love T1's comp minus the jungle pick. I just think the jungle pick feels like it's so disjointed from the rest. There is no big carry to dive in with you. So I do worry that as the game progresses, Nocturne goes in on the Sivir, and then you're going to hit a point where all of a sudden you just don't have enough damage to actually solo out these AD carries. Then the Nocturne's job becomes a little bit confusing. It's kind of like, what is your role here? Where, everyone else is like Renata is peeling for the Azir and the Xayah. The Ornn is looking for these long-range engages, but you're really playing front to back. And then the Nocturne is kind of disjointed. I do feel like Gen G's comp is more cohesive.
All right, into the game yet again. Only one Summoner Spellbook. This time it's for Gen G. But as we're waiting for the action to start, Lore is standing by once again, this time with Cadril.
Thank you, guys. I have the Rat King here. Okay, what do you think of the series so far?
It's amazing. I really hope we get 5 games. The crowd's insane. The games are insane. This is perfect.
Okay, but important question here. What do you think is stronger, T1 plot armor or the 08 Renata?
I mean, T1 plot armor, but they need to go really late game to win this, I think.
All right, let's see how this one goes. Thank you so much, Kajol. Over to you guys.
All right, we've got it. We've got the opinion here. He says the plot armor, but it's got to go late. We'll see if they can get there, or if Gen G can drag them into an earlier fight. That feels like a sentence that doesn't feel supernatural, saying that Gen G wants to make it messy, wants to get scrappy early, but that is sort of the assignment here in this one. Immediate heal for the aggro play in bottom lane at level 1. Duro and Ruler, they're ready to go.
I mean, these bot lanes just know that priority matters so much in some of these matchups. So double heal going to be traded back and forth. You know, Duro using it for the health, using it for that move speed to close the gap on Aguma and try to get a good trade, because they really want to have the push here as Sivir. You want to try to lock your opponents under their tower. Otherwise, you are just going to be getting constantly poked out here by this Renata. Even the barrier spent that early just for one auto attack.
My goodness. Ruler wanting to stay healthy. The level 2 secured. The stun will connect. But I think the thing Ruler has to be super concerned about early is just his mana. You burned through your mana on Sivir very early on into the game. If you're going to use all of it to focus on trading, then you're going to limit a lot of the wave clear options that you have. Kumiyushi falling behind in terms of health, but the pots are now gone for the AD carries. And keep track of the junglers. Both of them heading that way, doing that full clear from the top side towards bot. And I feel like the big point of contention is going to be this bot lane 2 versus 2.
All right. 300 HP on both of our AD carries as the auto attacks keep flying back and forth. The junglers both collecting their second buffs, but it is Gumayushi and Carrier getting the better trade. Flash from Duro, but he's still caught. First blood.
Damn, he got cooked and fried. What the hell?
Flashes out, but the feather pull from Guma roots him up, so he's locked down even after the flash. And Guma just flashes to follow. This 2v2 was so
CC go
spicy
crazy
right
in the bot
from
lane.
the word go. And it is T1 coming out on top.
A nice advantage gained for T1 and a punish of Duro's positioning in the lane. He thought that he was safe, but great patience demonstrated by Carrier to bring him back into the arms of his AD carry as they secure a kill. Guma did lose his flash in the exchange, but I think T1's going to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you can see, Duro just using the crash down for the shield, but once the handshake connects, his flash as he gets out of the CC is just a split second too late because he was still locked up. The feather pull route is there. Guma for the flash follow gets the kill, and that is a nice early advantage here for T1, who do have a very strong scaling comp. You can see the frustration on the staff from Gen G there, knowing that could have some pretty big knock-on effects for the rest of the game. But I want to talk a bit about Chovy and Faker. Both of these guys have been so pivotal in the wins for their teams. Faker, incredible in the Orianna game 1. Chovy, incredible in the Rise game 2. Chovy had this quote back in 2023 in August, talking about how he knows how to play against Faker. We might have a gank here, doesn't look like it. And then after this quote to me is important because of the excellence he has displayed against Faker since then. His record against Faker since this quote has been nothing short of stellar. It is incredible. Nearly a 90% win rate in domestic best ofs. Game score 77%. International though, Faker still having that success here. It is dead even after that last series. And it's just so impressive to see Chovy's growth and how dominant he has been as an individual, even against the likes of Faker, the undisputed greatest player of all time.
Right, you think of Faker and of T1, and you think of this is the best, the winningest League of Legends team to ever exist in the history of LoL esports. And Gen G really are the team that consistently rivals them, that consistently challenges them, that domestically often gets the better of them, but then internationally it is a war so often.
I mean, honestly, it is a crazy flex to say, yeah, I've played enough against Faker as he might be, oh, he's in some trouble, owner's here to cover. It is a crazy flex to say, yeah, I've played enough against Faker, I know how to play against him, and then just casually drop, 90% win rate in regional series.
I mean, isn't that the beauty of a rivalry? Having the confidence to understand your opponent and learn through the years to become better. And as you rightly said, domestic versus international, very different tales. What's crazy to me is the head-to-head record now, I think, is still 62-62 all time because the series is 1-1.
Having a casual best of 127 between the two mid laners.
Yes.
Going to be decided here today.
And I expect these two mid laners to meet many times more in the future. For now, though, it's T1 with the lead. They will secure the first dragon of the game. We will see Canyon in a position... No, he's just going to drop a ward and realizes that there is no fight here. Chovy has to go back to base. Duro's got to be careful.
Yeah, Duro caught with a handshake there, but a nice shattering strike ready to respond. Canyon joining up with his bot lane duo, but there's just no way for them to close the gap in time and get anything after that. Free Drake, T1.
Honestly, the damage was good enough by Ruler that I thought that there was an engage option for Duro. Instead, they choose to take the more risk-averse approach. They will allow T1 to walk away. Canyon going to clear out some vision around the mid lane. And so far in this series, we've been seeing a lot of swaps, but for now, these teams are going to match up in their respective lanes.
Absolutely, and I think Keen is going to be happy to continue laning against Oran. He did go first strike. We hadn't touched on that yet, so he is just going to be playing, just farm gold off of the Oran, realizing, hey, I'm probably not going to be able to kill him. It is just going to be more of that farm lane. Doran already has a lot of magic resist here built up. Again, I do think it is quite a good matchup for the Oran.
Not really.
One of the rare tanks that can kind of match that
kind of a slow game
that Rumble can put out in the early stages. But Keen with, I think, a smart adaptation, just trying to get to those faster item spikes thanks to the first strike.
And I think that Keen has been the better top laner, surely, so far in the first two games. Remember that this is Doran's first international appearance. In game number 1, Keen controlled the lane early, but as T1 won more team fights, it was, right, exactly, first finals, excuse me. But Keen controlled the game early, the lane early in game number 1, and then he wasn't able to find the impact as his team fell behind in the team fights. In game number 2, Doran's Camille never accomplished the goal that he was drafted for, while Keen became the raid boss on the Scion, just creating this massive difference in presence in the games. Now Keen off to another laning phase where he has that slight gold lead. Doran, however, staying even in farm early on this one, which is an improvement from games 1 and 2.
Well, gentlemen.
No, I haven't.
8 minutes in, and it's grub o'clock.
I haven't heard. I actually haven't seen anything about it, actually.
80 carry top for T1, which means that T1 will have better position.
I saw like 1 or 2 things. I haven't heard about it.
Who just ticked over to level 6.
I assume that means it's good.
Very well be the level difference.
Okay. Keep your eyes on the engage going in immediately. Doran trying to use the Ornhorn, but it only finds its way on a Canyon. Now they got to try to continue to look for a little bit more engage. The lights go out, but enough. Ready for Genji as they try to fight back. Canyon with the flashback over the wall as Ruler fires out with a ricochet. Doran trying to get his way out as the Shurima shuffle defends T1. Genji take control of the topside river. There's no kills, there's no bodies, but Genji no longer deal with resistance. T1 forced all the way out as Gumayushi.
Oh no, that's good. That's what I'm always worried about that when it comes to like superhero movies or anything of the sort. Like Batman kind of used a gun or something at one point. That kind of. I was just like, what the fuck? I said, fuck it. Pulled out the blick.
But Chovy on the other side finds Faker as he tries to enter right here. Chunks out Faker incredibly low. Keria had to spend the heal, and this kind of meant Faker couldn't really get very involved in the play. So even though the hostile takeover was quite good from Keria, the fact that Faker is just fully zoned out there by Chovy and by the Tibbers made it really hard for T1 to have enough damage to push through.
That Azir wall buying enough time for T1 to escape. You could see how low the health bars were, but that was just a taster of the fights to come. We're expecting this game to be hectic with the engaged compositions that both sides have drafted. But still, 1-0 the scoreline for now.
That would be pretty sick.
The soldier's job is to protect the
I like good AI tools right now too for creating 3-dimensional objects.
One Drake for the side of
that you can like import and kind of edit.
For Genji means our neutral objectives are tied in regards to the feats. Only a single kill on the clock here.
I think like
10
Meshy.
minutes into the game. Remember Lore's interview with Cadril at
one
the
of
very
those.
start of things. Cadril saying he wants to see T1 try
Just
to
like
take
import
this
that into
one
Maya
late if
or Blender or whatever you use.
One kill at 10 minutes feels like
Fun.
a good start for keeping the game at the pace you want.
just love the tension that always builds between these two teams.
I feel like Superman would make a good video game, kind of like the Spider-Man idea, where you kind of just like go around and complete like certain objectives and shit like that.
Proactive on the map. They play super well around objectives and vision specifically. And let's have a quick look at the vision control that Gen G have right now. Control ward here, 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 here. Like the vision coverage across their entire entrances to the jungle, just to make sure they have a clear idea of what T1 is up to. And T1 no slouches either, matching that vision, keeping track of whether or not Canyon tries to set
Unreal's pretty cool too.
Steal away those camps.
That's exactly what you said.
The new one, like 5.6.
Right? You know, the tension is around these small objectives. It's not always the dragon. It's about getting the push, fighting for the advantage there, so you can move in, link up with your jungle, clear out wards, establish.
It's getting hyper realistic. There's also like other cool softwares that I've seen.
So much of the fights are actually won
where it's like photorealistic.
Talking about setting things up, Keen is back to his ways from games 1 and 2, now with a solid gold lead for himself, the largest individual lead in the game at over 400 gold here on the Rumble up against Doran's Ornn. Remember, a lot of the times this matchup starts to feel much better for the Ornn once Kanik Rookern is completed. The existence of the magic shield allows you to trade.
I feel like a Superman game, like going from like ground running around to like flying would be such a sick transition.
He's also already here. T1 are starting up the objective. Gen G are coming down to try to do something about it. Equalizer drop, but it only finds Owner. Magnet Storm again, only on Owner. Here comes the Ornn Horn as T1 are firing back.
Yeah, no, it's actually I went to Georgia State for game design development. That's what they had us doing over there. Was I think we used a lot of iClone 7 too for like what was it, like cutscenes and things like that. These fights are crazy. Everybody like living with like negative health.
Team fights this tense. The HP bars are so low. Canyon will interrupt the base from Doran, but it ends up being just 1-for-1. The engage onto Owner to catch him as T1 is trying to retreat.
But yeah, no, Unreal's sick. It's really good. I'm gonna start doing stage design and stage like event planning and stuff like that for, and use Unreal for that because it's it's just going at such a fast rate.
Barely surviving. Chovy barely
you pretty much do anything you really need in it.
Gen G committed a lot just to get that one kill. It's Faker. Gonna be pressured, but should be able to walk this one out. Chovy does have his flash, but I don't think he's gonna spend it in this spot with Carrier around.
Yeah, Duro, he lands crash down. Yeah, he follows up with Shattering Strike, but with no damage in range. With that massive fight having just occurred, ultimates are all down. You can look at the cooldowns on the scoreboard. Only Fakers was still left. We saw him go in, try to find an opportunity to use it, but not find it. Here's the fight again.
Exactly, and there's no flash here on Owner, so everything is being committed. They're locking him down, but Owner just pops the ult, turns around, gets one kill back. The hostile takeover put a lot of pressure onto Canyon as well as Keen, and then Guma goes in to cover Faker. As Faker overextends a little bit here, Guma's just going to move right to the wall. You can see that feather pull into the knockup right there from Doran against the wall. Really well-played combo, but Chovy trading back nearly takes down Guma.
They get the flash out of Ruler, which I didn't see live in the fight. You can see
they both look disappointed.
No one is happy with the fight.
Love the reactions from Coach Helper there on Gen G. Carrier.
That's so funny. Both teams were like, "What the fuck?" Neither of them were happy. That's so funny.
We're just waiting for that one fight to break the game open because it's so back and forth right now. It can really swing either way, and the Herald 50 seconds away could very well be the objective that breaks this game open.
That coach reaction was the opposite of what you talked about earlier, Isaac, with everybody feeling good about winning the draft, the fight, even though it's just that 1-for-1. Faker there, once again, the target of Gen G. But I feel like throughout his career, one thing that has made Faker stand apart from all of the other players, from all of the other highest-ranking mid laners, he's so good at absorbing pressure. Yeah. He's so good at providing threat while also not putting himself in a spot to be punished.
I mean, it sounds like an oversimplification, but he just knows how to win, right? Like he
knows
that's
sick.
He knows what to do. He knows what he can give
like
up and when he cannot. He knows
developer's
exactly
dream
how to play.
Or game designer's dream too.
That is why it's sometimes shocking. You know, he can be losing lane, he can be
so cool.
giving over kills, but he still is going to find the best possible route towards victory, and I think that really is what makes him so special. Vetty, you said how it is, a very kind of close game right now, but I think that favors T1 because it's going very slowly.
Okay, Gen G have control over the top side river. Rift Herald, the target. Teleport coming in from T1.
Here we go.
Harold's already down to about 4,000. T1
Ooh, it's getting
gotta be
crazy.
ready to turn out the lights here. Storm in the back, and Storm over, crashes down from Duro. Equalizer over the top, and a ton of damage back to the Gen G support. Backline of Gen G under a little bit of pressure as Ruler's first to die. Owner going in, looking for Chovy here too. Canyon shoveled away as Chovy has to run. T1 domination. Another kill about to come through.
Damn.
As Doran follows Keen.
No, T1 is so crazy. They're so good.
On T1 has fallen. The recall from Chovy trying to get away. The handshake denies it. Chovy on the run with the blast cone, but he's not going far.
Oh, he's cooked. Oh, shit. Fucked him up.
A double kill to Carrier. A 7-1 game for T1.
It is a great engage from Duro, but it is a better answer from Carrier. The hostile takeover hit all 5 members of Gen G. And that completely changed the course of the fight, completely changed the course of the game. We have to watch this one more time.
You really can hear it in their voice. That shit.
As they're stacking up, you think this is going to be the incredible engage. But
start
watch
crying
Carrier
soon.
here. Hostile takeover comes out. It hits everything. All 5 of them get tagged by it. The spell shield was used early. The follow-up from T1 was perfect. The Orin ulti goes through the whole team. Ruler's spell shield was used early against the Nocturne. And that was a game changer.
An exceptional response from Carrier. Nice indeed. And I mean, in that fight, Chovy flashed forward to try and follow up, but he actually only connected his ultimate onto Doran. So the fact that he flashed forward then meant the response from Doran, he could CC Chovy, knock him into the air, and he's removed from the fight in an instant.
See, I told you it was Gliss's fault. Renata's innocent.
That might be the case here, because T1 is looking good in game 3. A 3,000 gold lead. The additional reward after the fight. They claim soul point as well. We are only 17.5 minutes into the game, and Gen G now have the responsibility of trying to defend every Drake hereafter. You think Orin's tough to deal with on the front line already? You think these guys are hard to kill right now? Mountain Soul is going to make it a whole lot worse. Carrier with the play of the game. Hostile takeover is slow as hell, and he put it in the right spot to just completely win the fight.
One thing, too, that's hard to notice when we're just spectating is the fact that with the Nocturnal, it creates so much additional chaos. It's hard to actually see the hostile takeover coming. In the chaos of a fight like that, the lights get turned off. There's Orinalt. There's all of these things flying
no,
in.
he's chilling, dude.
Easier to not see that hostile takeover. And I think
Drop that
did
shit for real,
contribute to
though.
the fact that Gen G,
That shit
no one
dropped
could
like a
react to it to
motherfucker.
avoid it.
And maybe that's the answer to the question you posed back at the end of draft. As this game
They
goes
about
on,
blew my
what is
shit out,
Nocturne's
man.
role? The job is to just make it
Holy.
impossible to respond to Ornn, to respond to Renata, and allow Azir and Xayah to DPS the fight.
And it's important
I don't want any more
that
follows after
while
that, bro. That shit hurt.
when
What the
you look
fuck?
at the items, they're actually very similar for the
Ow.
time being. Of course, T1 is a bit ahead of the play. Faker's likely going to complete his second item before that of Chovy, ahead of this neutral objective. But there is this window where,
Holy.
itemization-wise, T1 don't have such a significant lead over Gen G just yet while they're in that component stage.
Appreciate you,
Means
though,
that
dude.
Gen G still have a chance to fight back, potentially turn this game around.
I feel like they have to find that chance soon, because to me, it's not just about the items, it is about the scaling. You're facing against an Orin, an Azir. Renata is going to have tremendous value in those later stages. And Guma is going to be so hard to knock down as he gets towards those luxury items
I've
later
been
on.
going
So
pretty
I do think Gen G
consistently.
absolutely win with a chance, but they have got
I
to
think
be
it's about a week
picture
ago,
perfect in
maybe a little
their
bit
engage
over a
against
week.
Next Dragon. You can't give over Soul.
What's today?
So basically,
Or
I
what's
feel like the game gets decided if it is T1's or if it continues
whenever
and
my
goes on
my
at this
RuneScape
next
started?
Dragon 230.
I've been going kind of daily. I think I missed one day in between. But
When you see the Rel and the Annie, and then you have the Rumble
pretty
equalizer up
consistently.
top, they
I've been doing
wanna
about
go in, they want to coordinate together, and that Nocturne ulti
between
that
1
you
and
bring
3
up,
hours
Isaac,
to
just
stream.
makes it so hard for everybody to coordinate the engage the way that they
Really
want
depends
to.
on kind of like how tired I am that day or how much I've done.
She's
But
going to have to find a way to bring that coordination together. 2 minutes until the Mountain Soul.
I also do like a lot of biking, so I'll get like super tired.
Yeah.
and then like it'll hit me really fast, like at night. Like I'll be like, I have to go to bed, or I will fall asleep on stream. I can't be doing that.
Annie did use her ult in the top lane onto Faker, so the burst that she has available from it is not going to be up for the fight. T1 is trying to put pressure onto Gen G, knowing this.
But yeah, no, it's been about 8 days, I think. It's been very kind of just spontaneous. I want to get a better schedule set up, I think. Like from like, I think 8 to 12 would be a good amount. Every, like, most nights, maybe weekdays. Really depends on kind of how work and stuff goes, but you know, I do like fixed gear and stuff, so it's a lot of knees. My knees be fighting back.
In the face of Ona, Gen G will get nothing.
It's super fun though. It's like I can't do like gyms or anything like that because I need something to distract me from kind of the strain that I'm putting on my body. Otherwise, I like hyper focus on it and be like, this shit is just not good for me. But it's a life or death situation. I'm being dramatic, but if it's like high intensity where I can't just focus on myself, I prefer those kinds of like activities, like climbing, rock climbing and stuff like that. Super fun. Has to be something like engaging in front of me though. I can't just sit there and do sit-ups until I throw up.
Canyon, when the Autobot starts to actually leash, he has to walk back in, and what happens is he walks through all of these feathers right here, he charges back in, there is the room.
But I've been on Twitch for a while though. Not exactly, you know what I mean. But I've been like, I lurk on Twitch a lot, and just kind of watch streams sometimes, dude. I also do, I think I have a multi-stream right now, so I'm on YouTube and Kick as well. I just have those on just for fun, just in case people from other chats hop in. Never really know. Better to expand like that, I feel like.
They've got a 5,000 gold lead, and
but
if they secure the soul, Gen G
yeah, no, biking's been super fun. I do like fixed gear. There's no brakes or anything, so you kind of have to like slow down your pedaling manually to slow down, or like lock your legs and skid. It's becoming more and more popular. I've gotten like a ton of like Instagram reels and TikToks and shit like that. I don't really use TikTok that much. Like Instagram reels are kind of the. Now I hear that, dude. Like it's tough. Just like being engaging after like a whole day of doing shit. It's just unbearable sometimes.
T1 taking full control now. Duro finally found an angle to get in on Faker, but there was no one to follow up at all. Faker was barely threatened. T1 turn around the fight easily, claim the soul, extend the gold lead even further, and it feels like T1 are about to send us to match point.
But yeah, no, it's energy's a huge thing. I also go to like a lot of AI conventions in my area as well. A lot of like Georgia Tech stuff. I'll go over there and play around with the new AI, use their supercomputer shit.
T1, 13 kills to 2, decimated this team fight.
A lot of it's kind of like impractical, though. I feel like there's like, I don't really have like a commercial use. Like it's very commercial driven. I feel like for the like supercomputers and shit. So it's, I just have no reason to be using something that strong.
And everything falls apart for Gen G.
T1 absolutely dominating there in our MasterCard priceless moment.
I also just have my computer at home that I can just stream from or hang out with people and talk.
Team was fantastic, and now you have to think Gen G with this composition that is very much one punch. It's about the initial engage here. It's really only Ruler that does much.
I've not been paying attention to. Oh my god. Okay, it's a blowout. Never mind.
So hard to get through.
And even though Chovy wasn't caught in the hostile
probably best I didn't look.
Owner just zeroes him out and kills him. Chovy, The team only has 2 kills. Chovy's the
They don't
only
want me
one
seeing
without
that.
an assist or a kill on anything. The
God damn, they're getting fucked up.
in this game.
And bad goes to
Oh
worse
my
when you realize
God.
Doran now is upgrading items for his team. He already has his upgraded Caning Rookard. They have the upgraded Nashers there on Faker, and they are threatening this Baron here, but will pull off.
All right, Gen G. They got to make something crazy happen. Chovy looking for an opportunity as T1 try to back away. Owner's going to turn out the lights. Chovy's been found waiting in the brushes as the hostile takeover.
Oh my God.
Combine to instantly execute Gen G. T1
Instantly execute.
He wants the penta.
Thought they had a plan, and T1 deny it.
Exquisite execution from T1 as they dismantle Chovy's attempt for a flank.
Holy vocabulary, bro, chill out. He's going.
As Carrier's ultimate sends them to their grave, the Baron will be secured, and T1 is dominating in game 3.
No, I hear that. Like when you upgrade it like something like a 5060, it's like you gotta go motherboard after, or like processor to match. Otherwise, it's just like.
He has been a massive difference
crazy.
maker here for T1. The positioning has been
I feel like
fantastic
I feel like
every single fight.
the 5060 might be able to
Send it, but look at this over the wall.
hold up pretty well by itself, but definitely having that kind of compatibility could help a lot.
That is why this guy has
Just smoothing things out, I feel like.
Faker now in trouble.
Yeah, Faker's been caught.
More motherboards nowadays. I feel like they've been doing pretty good. They've been.
Yes, he does. Now owner enters into the paranoia. His target is Keen. Carrier ready to follow up here. Goes for the handshake. Finds the enemy top laner. Faker's on a killing
Yeah, he's solo queue. He ain't playing team shit.
And the fear tether doesn't have the range to proc just yet. Ruler's the target. Gumayushi's the killer. And Faker cashes in. A double kill for the Azir as T1 break into the base.
But yeah, no. Having that kind of compatibility and optimized computer layout is ideal, but get what you can take.
T1 19 to 2, 13,000 gold ahead. All they need is a minion wave. They've got it here at the Nexus. Duro's next to die, and Chovy's Annie is about to follow. T1 in the strongest performance thus far are at match point.
Incredible performance here.
Yeah, no, I did that one time. One of my old friends that I used to talk to a lot, I gave him one of my old graphics cards, and he had like a really kind of old school computer, and he tried putting it, I think this is like before GTX series. I think they still have like gaming graphics cards, but it was kind of the pioneer of them, at the very beginning era of gaming graphics cards. But he like put it in one of his old computers, and it just like sparked and just fried his shit. So that shit has always had me bugged out.
Jocks, they are so confident. They are styling out there from the very beginning. Guma flashing forward,
Yeah, no,
getting
that
the
shit was
kill,
fucked up.
flashing the T1
I felt bad though, cause I think I
glad
sold
that
it to
the
him for like
observers
$200
kept it
back,
on
and
that
I was
bot
like,
lane 2v2 as both bot lanes
it's like
were like,
back
you know,
then with those
using
kind
all
of
their summoner
cars or
spells,
whatever, it's
trying
like
to blow stuff just to get to level 2, and then
I forget which one it was. It was like when it was still like 3-digit GTX cards.
was like, you know what? Don't blame the Renata.
It's like 59,
It's one of
like
his best
590
champions.
or something like that. I can't remember.
So well with this Nocturne, and then also
But yeah, no,
with
his
the
shit,
Ornn combo on top of it.
that shit sparked and like it literally like caught on fire. I think in his computer. That shit was crazy. And I was on the phone with him. I was just like, what the fuck just happened? It was bright as hell.
And obviously, it wasn't even necessarily as much about Dirk, because he has to go in on these plays. It was about the ability of Carriers. This was the
Yeah, no.
Early game, man.
Yeah, Linus tech tips that shit. That's what I'd be doing.
There's a word we can use.
Linus always got your back.
And they were consistently able to all get out alive. But once the actual 5v5s broke out, the team fighting was insane. And I very quickly want to highlight, Gen G have been in tough positions. They've reverse swept before. They've gone to 5 games a lot. But they need
So it's 2-1 right now. T1, if they win this next one, they win the championship.
Be able to give them that support as well, because as you say, it is a confidence game most of the time when you have two teams that are so
Popping off though. Like, this is a good close game, I'd say. This is like, it's not a complete blowout. It's not 3-0. It went 1-1 into a 2-1, but let's just pray that they pull together at 2-2. Come down to one last game where everything's on the line. That'd be crazy.
They were just going back and forth, trying to get to level 2, and
everybody's holding their breath and shit.
On this, Renata absolutely ends up owning them.
And I understand why Gen.G want to go for this, because they have a summoner's pop, right? They have barrier versus cleanse. So in the
nah, that shit is like a paperclip. Like literally, it's like a paperclip. You gotta like. That shit is crazy.
This lane is really snowballing either way. If Sivir can get ahead, you can really make a lot happen.
And then it's like it's like clamped down weird too, so you gotta like pop it outwards and up at the same time or something, and then it like that shit could just break it alone. It feels like, or like push down, pull out, and then like pull up. It's so weird. They didn't make that shit easy. They need to like. I don't know how they could do that though. I feel like they might have thought through a lot of things at this point. They're just like, just have them do it.
Is so insanely consistent on this champion in the team fights, and it was so funny because he got an early lead, he popped off, got a quadra, but let's be real, this game was about 2 people, and it was about, I think,
NA over EU. I don't know, we got fucking eliminated super early in the tournament. I don't know if that's true. I think it's a wishful statement.
Multiple examples. Here was actually the most recent one. They were actually disgustingly far ahead at this point. Yeah. But that was just so beautiful over the wall, and seeing the combination here again.
Yeah, quadra kill there as well. That's a nice game to play, Zaya. Also, on the side of Ruler, does he have this many flashbacks about Azir in 2023 that he needed a spell shield and that he had to go for that Sivir because...
I don't think he's been the problem. I obviously didn't get to play the game in that one.
I just wanted to make the connection. I don't
no,
think
for real.
He did flash the JDG emote earlier.
He did.
You gotta like, oh, especially like when you gotta put in those little like pins. Those pins will fuck you up. That shit had me bugging. I was just.
This ended up deciding the fight. So
I was like, I gotta accidentally bin something here. Like, there's no way I'm getting this shit in.
So their goal is going to be take care of Keria because he is the
That's all I remember about those little like especially for the case, how the case has like the USB ports in the front. Like plugging those in stressed the fuck out of me. It was like a line of small pins where you gotta like finagle your way through. And hopefully not one of them gets out of place and gets like 90 degrees.
Means that there's a bailout, there is a multi-man ultimate, and Doran follows up with a beautiful Ornald.
Yeah, this is exactly how you would want this Ornn, Renata, Nocturne combo to work, right? Nocturne turns out the lights.
Exactly, that's the issue. It's like sometimes they have it so it'll just pop out by itself and you're like, oh, okay, there's a button here that just ejects it. But sometimes it's like, you gotta like, especially with the graphics card, you're like, you gotta like, pull that shit out. Like, that shit, and then it's heavy as fuck, you're like, like, what do I do with this? Like, I don't know how to store a graphics card after I already opened it and shit.
Was just so clean, utilizing each part together to really find those synergies for the big combos. And
I feel like you need to like buy a box or like a case for a graphics card if you take it out. I have no idea what to do with it. Maybe plastic bag it. I don't know. Doggy bag. But I gotta go with my mom's dog out real quick. I'm house sitting at the moment so I gotta go.
You would not say they would make it to the final, let alone make it to match point first, let alone perhaps being the team to break that 22 consecutive series streak from Gen.G, Moritz.
It's insane, and I feel like every time, if you only watch internationals, you keep going, why are these guys trying to lie to me? What do you mean T1 isn't a favorite? What are you talking about? Because every single time, and this split, I do think, obviously they struggled a little bit, they were still third, right? We've seen this team barely make it to Worlds like they did last time, and with T1, when they're in this form, to me, a lot of it does come down to draft. I don't like going too ham on draft, but I feel like Genji is fairly predictable, and T1 is making such good use. That Renata into that amount of short-range bulk-up damage just did so much work.
They could very well finish it here. I don't think they will. I think we will go for another Silver Scrapes. Because Genji,
I don't know.
Genji has chosen the blue side, and it's been a pretty good side today. And NA fans, while MSI is coming to an end, there are more LoL Esports events coming up soon. This September, the LTA Finals will be in Texas, baby. Scan the QR code on screen to grab your tickets now. And we will see if T1 finishes the job or if Genji brings us to yet another Silver Scrapes.
What a car. Living the dream, huh? Okay, I get it now.
传奇该如何铸就？
Changed the meta. He pushed the limits of the game.
Uzi now reigns as king.
I was AFK. Grandpa went AFK. IRL. Just chilling. He's digging for something. I gotta. Move that really quick. There you go. People want it to be 3-1.
Gumayusi's over to kill Duro. 3 dead on Gen G. T1, our ruthless owner, is unstoppable, and that Dragon Soul is free for the taking.
You gotta be a hardcore ass fan to get, like, be like, yeah, let's 3-1 it.
Welcome back to MSI 2025.
That's wild to me.
Here at the T1 versus Gen G Grand Finals. After a dominating Game 3 performance with a final score of 20-2, after shutting Chovy out from scoring a single kill or assist, T1 are at match point.
And I really just have to emphasize how crazy it is that T1's even in this position, considering the spring that they had, the challenges that they went through during the regular season, the series against HLE that people expected HLE to win. Now for them to be not only in the grand final, but at match point, pushing
I feel like you gotta be careful, but
after losing to them in the upper finals, this team
if you
really
have good kind of like
explained.
intuition with that kind of stuff, you gotta just be like, yeah, I paid a lot of like, you pay a lot of money for something, you're not gonna like try and break it. You know what I mean?
They need to have a little bit of struggle before the success to make it believable, Vedius.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see if Gen
Do you use a AMD or like a Intel
Alright, we
CPU?
still got
You
Nico
know?
banned over on the blue side, which Gen G are back on in this game, alongside the Silas and the Yorick bans. Over on the other side, two very familiar faces here in red side first half bans, Ferris and Pantheon every single game. These are the two that neither team on red side are willing to give over on the B1 as Blitzcrank. An unusual ban, but one that you got to look out for.
I'm thinking Lulu. I'm thinking maybe even Tom Kench.
Yeah.
Like a range supports, possibly Karma as well. If T1's thinking about removing that, does Chovy locks in his Victor right at the start?
It also makes me wonder about picks like Jinx and things like that rising in priority, right? Some of these vulnerable hyper carries, you're saying, okay, we want to have an enchanter pairing with it. What would struggle, you know, would that be a struggle against? Well, maybe the Blitzcrank. So it is going to be Victor here early on.
Jinx is not a
lot of these
vulnerable
control
hyper
mages
carry.
have already been kind
You
of
got
worked
an ult
through
that
here.
can just
We did see
make her
Faker,
take
though,
off.
when he was pushed yesterday, bringing out the Hwei, which was quite effective for him.
You just stay out the fight.
Picks for either team have been bans in
Blow some shit up.
in this matchup. The Skarner ban just last game.
I just want to draw attention to, as we get later into these drafts, and you blind pick a jungler against Canyon, this is where he starts to bring some of his more unique picks out. There's the Jinx hover that we talked about.
That's what I thought as soon as they banned out the Blitz.
It's been such a good pick for both AD carries. We only have to go back to yesterday to witness Gumayusi's performance on the champion, but I want to go back to Canyon. Things like his Nidalee. We think back to last year's MSI where he brought out the Kha'Zix. We think back to Worlds 2023. We think about champions like the Kane that he's shown us before. A champion that has a very unique champion pool. He's going to keep it calm and go with the Trundle instead.
No, I feel
the
that.
Tank Tenderizer here to deal with that Skarner that's been locked in first.
I definitely feel that. Having 3 monitors, honestly, it's like for me, it just felt like
and then Jinx, right? People to keep you safe, people to keep
like I was breaking my neck and shit trying to look at stuff.
It's gonna be the blind Jace top here for King.
Like I was like
curious to see if they will match roles here.
Then you get the ones above and it's 6, and then
I like picking the Jason top lane.
And then you're doing that type of shit.
I talked about it in game number 3, but Keen has been winning his lane in all the games so far. He's been building these individual leads.
and you're surrounded by blue light and it's
twice,
boiling
it
you.
hasn't been because of that top lane falling short individually. If Keen's given the tools to be one of the big carry threats, that could be the win con right there.
Zig's going to be targeted by T1, eliminating the AP option on the bot side of the map. I feel like we've seen
She
too
got
many
you in
times
like a
people not just pick hyper carry into
one of
the
those like
hyper carry
chicken
of
warmers
Jinx.
at Groger.
I am a fan of things like Zeri as a response. Just go full scaling against scaling, knowing that it's going to come down to these full late game fights. Coming into this tournament, there was some conversation about Zeri actually rising in priority. We'll see what direction Ruler decides to go as the bans continue to come through. Doran's Gragas going to be targeted away.
I'm also just so
Could also
interested to see
be
how Chovy will bounce back from the last
you might want to
game,
upgrade your
because when he
processor
went
too,
no
so
kills,
that
no assists. I had our stats.
Yeah, I feel like
when was the last
GPU.
time that even happened? It happened
You got a good
last
GPU,
year
so
in
I think
July
it should be
20th
fun.
was the last time he had had it happen. Has only happened 10
Because I've had
times in his entire
3 monitors
career,
and it slowed down
he's
my
played
computer a little
nearly
bit.
900 games. So exceptionally
But I think I
rare
still have like
for
a
Chovy to not be involved in any way. To be shut
Probably
out
like
in a game
2070
like
or
that against
something.
a team that he has recently kind of dominated regionally is really a surprise.
That's less than 1%.
Yeah, so we can essentially just
Dang.
round it and say this happens 1 out of every 100 games, maybe, and it happened there.
Which honestly, like,
all likelihood
isn't that old. They just came out with like the 3, 4, and 5 so fast
So it is crazy to see that.
that it seems like the 2 is like so far behind, but it really just chilling.
Like you were talking about matching hyper carries on the other side.
Ezreal is also still open. A champion that is synonymous
think,
with
let me-
a player like Ruler. And if they want to go for something like a Ezreal Karma, potentially, if they want a little bit more poke, Victor, Jace, Ez, very long range, very difficult to play around these neutral objectives just because of the sheer amount of poke. Oh my goodness. It's a very similar composition to what we saw yesterday from T1 when they played against AL. Just that traditional front-to-back style. Doran's Keen going to be an additional front line to help protect Gumayushi.
If they want to go something more standard too, they can also go the MF route, which Ruler has liked, but it is going to be Zeri instead. They will not have the Lulu pairing that was banned away, so clearly T1, were suspicious of that coming through, but it will be the Rakan to give them that hard engage, which I think is something that they would have needed anyway.
And I like the Cassante pick here for T1, not just for this game, but because it's a bit of insurance. If this does go to Silver Scrapes, like the last time
Wrong
these two
system.
teams went head-to-head did, this
Went to
also
details,
removes
not
the
information.
Cassante
There you go.
possibility for Keen in a game 5.
Scanning.
Mage and a control mage with the Hwei.
This is what I was expecting. We saw yesterday, when it was that game 5, when he got pushed down in his champ pool, and it was control mage type of situation. He went to the Hwei, he performed well on it, so I'm not surprised whatsoever by these picks. This is what it was for T1. Hwei Jinx, as that final game yesterday when we went to 5 here against AL, that got them across the finish line. This is the tried and true for them.
Oh, I have a 3070. Never
Guma
mind.
and Faker on hyper carries. 3
I don't even know what I
tanks
have
around
anymore.
them to keep them safe. But on the other side, you have Trundle to shred those resistances. You have Chovy and Ruler on these hyper carries, and you have Keen, who has been
Nah,
playing
yeah, 6
so well in
monitors would
lane
be
with the
fucking
potential to
OD
create
as
a side
fuck.
lane advantage here over Xante.
In these late series,
I feel like my head
tracks,
would get hot.
I feel like people show too much respect to the Jinx, and the moment she
Burn
gets a
my
kill,
eyes
she
out
just
or something.
snowballs out of control. Now looking to match with that scaling, Gen.G still have ways to fight back should things fall apart a little bit in the early game. It's just about taking the game slow, which in the early game this series largely
Not
has
exactly, yeah.
been
Like I said, I'm over at my mom's and I only have one monitor right now. It's a decent sized monitor, but it's hard to like switch between things. That's why I'm always kind of messing with my like stream setup a little bit. Especially like I usually have two. Two is like my comfort zone, I'd say. Like just having one on the side to kind of do other things. But I'm constantly like switching between tabs. Not really sure what's going on half the time because it's like 7 instances behind the front app. So I'm like, what the fuck? If I'll hear some shit going on, I can't find it. Or I can't, like, I'll open something and it'll just be hidden behind. Because I used to, what is it? What's that mini player where you can, like, pop out your video? And it's always at, like, the corner. I use that for, or I'm using that currently. That's why it always does this.
Has been so long.
I'm using that for the source.
They have actually been taken down. And it would be absolutely historic if they were able to actually win MSI without dropping a series after having an entire
Yeah, I can't wait to get back and have kind of my whole setup back again.
That to me is perfection. And it's something that is hard to even comprehend being possible. But Gen.G now 1 game away from tripping at the final hurdle here, from being just brought up barely short here by T1.
Yeah, the unfortunate
would be nothing new to lose
Gen.G
against T1.
is that so many teams, rosters, organizations have been on the precipice of making history, and the number of times that T1 have stood in their way.
But yeah, it's miserable to go from 2 monitors back to 1. I feel so confused. It feels like a completely different system.
On the bot side, though, it's a very contested wave.
It absolutely is, and I want to remind you yesterday of the performance from Guma against AL. This guy was unreal in that series. 32, 8, and 27. Ridiculous had massive leads in most of the games early on. Was pumping out the
No, exactly. That's why I'm like barely streaming. I'm kind of doing like more physical shit right now.
Really did run away with it. T1 played incredibly
but like just being on the computer right now just feels so constricted. I feel like claustrophobic in a way. That makes sense.
Bot lane scrappy here early on, not as much as we saw in the previous game, but Canyon thinking about getting involved here in the mid lane. 2 immobile control mages. Faker's got to try to run. The flash chop from Canyon. Power siphon.
God damn.
Canyon knocks it down. Gen.G with first blood.
On his
2
ass.
minutes and 55 seconds into the game.
Canyon wants to get this game going quickly.
No, exactly, yeah. It's just like
Is a champion that once that flash is gone,
subtracting something, making it smaller.
Once he used the skill in that mid lane matchup, they were quick to capitalize. Chovy and Canyon draw first blood here in game 4.
I just think the gank was perfectly timed. They were waiting for Faker to actually use his skill. As soon as he used the EE for that chomp, he doesn't have his fear available. And that is incredibly hard for him to survive. And Gen.G, able to bait that out, able to execute on an early gank.
Yeah, I mean, when Trundle walks at you, the point-blank fear is a pretty solid anti-Trundle mechanism, but once it's gone, like you say, there's just nothing to do about it. And Canyon, despite the fact that Trundle doesn't have hard CC, the slows
Trundle
from
in
the
the
chomp,
jungle.
the slows from the pillar, it's enough to set it up for Gen.G nice and early. And when you look at the T1 comp, you don't want to have this Trundle get to the point, validates your front line.
Exactly, but they spot him there, walked a little bit too far forward. Faker had eyes on him, and Owner is on that top side. We'll see if he can do anything about it, because Canyon is going to be on a reset right now.
The other thing that doesn't get talked about often is the stacks that Victor gets just by being involved in one of those early kills. Already at 59 in the mid lane matchup, securing 25, accelerated towards the upgraded E, which just provides so much more wave clear. And that on Victor is very valuable just because of how much control it gives you over the mid wave.
Really is. It looks like Chovy with that early Ruby Crystal going to be going towards Aroa, so definitely a slow build here. But will help him to be a lot tankier in these fights. I just question, is that what he needs? Also the ability to potentially go towards Masks and go towards an early Leandries or something like that, but we have been seeing a lot of Roa. I just think he needs that frontline damage against a team comp that has a lot of HP to chew through.
Might just be thinking about the scaling state of a game where it's Zeri versus Jinx in the bottom lane. Gumayushi caught on the very edge of the grand entrance. Keria trying to protect his AD carry. Guma already using the ghost there to get a little bit of extra distance. As Keen versus Doran here on the top side as Doran down to 300 HP. A sidestep from Keen. Doran is low, but he survives. It's a big wave about to crash into the turret as Doran heals back up with the health potion. Keen still applying the pressure. Accelerated shock blast brings the Cassante back down to 300. Pathmaker from Doran, but another heal from the Grasp of the Undying from Keen.
So, while that very tense situation was happening on the top side of the map, they were able to get Gumayushi's ghost and they got the heal out from Keria. Doran now taking over to level 6 means that he's a little bit more safer in this 1 versus 1. Ona tested his luck around the dragon, decided against it. Now that the bot lane of Gen.G has returned to lane, resets need to come through from Guma and Keria. Meanwhile in mid lane, Chovy really starting to put on the pressure.
Canyon taking the Drake now with the Trundle. Pretty easy for Trundle to take these objectives. Remember also with King's Tribute, you get a nice surge of healing after you take down one of these large targets. Back in mid lane, the trades back and forth. And with Chovy,
are you in the UK?
Using the Void Storm, the Arcane Storm,
or are you in
get a little
Europe?
bit of extra tempo over Faker here. Make sure he's keeping that pressure up while his teammates finish off the Drake that Canyon was securing there. So we've got the early gold lead for Gen.G thanks to Canyon in the mid lane. We've got the early objective.
I live on the East Coast in America.
Take before the grubs even spawn.
This one ward in that banana
it's
brush
4 a.m. over
paid a lot
there.
of dividends. This ward right here actually spotted.
That's just like over the ocean, right?
That's how they pushed him off. Again,
that's like just
looking for an angle to go towards mid lane, spots
that's
him walking into the river there. And
it's my best
guess.
Help
keep himself safe. Duro even spotting him again here as he tries to go aggressive.
Oh shit, that's what's up.
Canyon up on that top side because of the ward in the river that Doran did place. But Ruler here with Duro, gonna try to stop him.
Yeah,
my mom. That's actually where my mom's at. She's in France right now.
Keria right beside him, and Canyon still on the other side of the map. This should be guaranteed take there for T1, and Owner will be the first jungler to level 6.
You'll notice the pings come down onto the red buff on the top side. Owner Identifying to Hcim, I'm going to go base
But
straight
yeah,
towards
I have
my
some
jungle
red in
camp
my
spot,
hair. I got
but you need
some
to be careful.
Irish in me.
Canyon decided against trying to counter jungle, recognizing the dangers that could come with trying to make that play. He will clear out his top side, now look to go back to base. Hitting level 6 himself means that tank shredding tool has become available to him. We find ourselves pretty
I've had a lot of friends in like California, and it's like 3 hours behind.
Going the way of Gen G for now.
So I'm definitely on the same page.
Hcim continuing to control the 1v1 matchup during these laning phases. Top side, nearly a 500 gold lead for him.
That feeling.
He's knocking down plates. He's abusing the power of the Jace in the early phases of the game, and that's exactly what they need him to be doing. Owner hanging around here in mid lane, but it's level 6. For both of the junglers. Owner, however, when you use that,
I'm on that motherfucking RuneScape grind right now, though.
The pillar still counts as terrain. It's pretty easy for Skarner to be able to tunnel his way out of that one.
Yeah, going to be able to stay safe up on that top side. Worried about a potential look for grubs, but Dorian going to get bad news. Canyon's here.
Yeah, Canyon's ready to chase after the Cassante. They don't want to allow him to get good all-out value, but Doran does it anyway. Canyon, he's caught out of position. The Impale has him stuck, but he stays alive with a little bit of extra healing. Canyon getting away for now. Super Mega Death Rocket can't finish the job as Doran stays alive. Canyon's the one closest to death. Owner still chasing, throws another rock, but it won't matter. Somehow,
that was crazy.
Nobody dies.
I saw that big ass explosion. So I'm talking about Jinx. She's not risk. She's not a risk factor whatsoever. She just blows shit up.
Builds up towards T1 being in a position to secure these grubs. There's no HP available to Canyon. It's a difficult fight. But maybe Keen feels confident. No, he's going to back away. These grubs will be conceded as T1 secures their first objective of the game.
No, I hear that.
Nicely done there for T1.
I've just had friends here who like are bartenders, so they'll come home at like 3 a.m. and be online till like 5 or 6 in the morning, like sunrise pretty much. I'm just like, for me that was just like rotting me. She just oh my god. And I'd get up at like 10 or 11 the next day. So I was getting like 3-4 hours of sleep. It wasn't all the time though. I wasn't like doing that every night. It was really just like usually like weekends or shit like that.
So T1 starting to hit these first power spikes.
But on weekends they'd usually be out longer than that. It'd be like 5 a.m.
But because he rotated towards mid, they try to make some plays on the Chovy, and also
especially in Atlanta. Atlanta just that shit is always awake.
To just be free in this bot side. He secured himself a play. He's now closed that gold gap. And both AD carries are being given this space to slowly farm up.
Oh, beautifully done from Duro there. He knows that Carrier wants to try to
interrupt the recall
on Ruler, so he jumps
I definitely hear that.
Dance. He blocks the Tom Kench tongue and guarantees
it's gonna pay out one day.
With the dragon spawning in 30 seconds, you have to imagine that
it's an investment.
Set their sights on it. Canyon
losing sleep.
Top once more. It does make sense to try and funnel some resources into Keen. Can they really pull this off?
The all-out is ready to go again. Doran outplaying it last time around, and he's ready to go again. All out. Keenan in a little bit of danger, but Canyon looking to burst him down in time. Doran drops, and Keen stays alive. Owner and Faker wanted to show up, but they can't get there, and it means that Gen G make the play work the second time.
And they had the extra teleport because Duro was holding on to his
Damn, Gen G might actually tie it up.
As soon as Faker arrives, even though Keen is low, he knows they cannot chase for that kill. If they do, they will both die for it.
Yeah, no, SKT or T1 in this case is they always get to the finals, so it's like I'd never I don't want to see them lose. Like they're a tough ass team. They deserve to win if they put in this work. But like it's every fucking final, like Worlds. This is like mid-season invitational, so it's like middle of season type shit.
Keen holding on, but the final rocket finds the target. T1 now trying to get a kill onto Keen. Carrier gobbles him up. Gumayushi shoots him down. T1 tie up the kills.
Your meal is served, Carrier and Owner. Serving up Keen on a silver platter to the Jinx, getting him the first kill of the game. He got paid with the plates, he got paid from the tower kill, and now gets a kill on the top laner to boot, opening up an 800 gold lead here for the Jinx to equal that of
But yeah, dude, if you get tired, just
the biggest thing.
you can call it whenever.
Accelerated.
You got me followed. And after the stream, I'm definitely go hit you, like follow you back on your stream. Maybe we can play some games or something. I don't know. Check some shit out. You're gonna be my Resident Evil helper. I'll definitely just get lost as fuck.
Gumayushi 700 gold ahead on the hyper carry Jinx, on the big performance that you already mentioned, Isaac. We saw yesterday with this champion. T1 off to a solid start here, but the gold, like you say, Vedius, it is still even.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
We'll see if they can
no pressure. I just kind of like, I've been enjoying streaming just as a hobby. I'm not really expecting it to like do anything, honestly. I just kind of want to meet new people, reach out. Kind of be social when
like I said, I do worry about this potential build.
I don't know. Like I couldn't have met you if it wasn't through Twitch. Probably it'd be so random.
And yes, it does make you tankier,
but even then, we probably just like walk past.
Almost purely front to back here. He needs to be able
to. Yeah, just streaming is super fun, especially recently. Cause like I said, I'm like watching my mom's dogs and stuff, so it's like I just wanted to.
They don't need to kill the whole thing.
I gotta kind of be present here.
Not 14 minutes just yet, and Gumayushi gets another cash in on those plates. About a 900 gold lead for him now.
That's been super fun, super nice.
Up over Faker, as now owner.
I see the benefits of it, even if it doesn't pay anything. It's just fun.
Look at top lane though.
I think like 8 to 12 would be a good schedule for me, like 8 p.m. to 12 p.m.
Jace a little bit behind, considering he has fallen twice.
Maybe 9.
In a solid position, going to stack up that tier as quickly as he can.
But
the kills are only 2 to 2. The plates very similar, but the edge to T1 by 2 of those as well. 14 minutes into the game.
I feel like I have so much more in common. Like it's just having a global kind of perception of things is so important.
But the jungle and the solo lanes
just being able to like talk to people and kind of connect just through games or like
we've got to talk about T1 and their history.
You're talking about Superman type shit. You know, it's like all that shit is super fun.
2017, the last time they actually won back, you know, a very different roster
just
with Huni on it. And
easy to find people with similar hobbies, talk about shit.
Now on the streak of qualifying, but they finished 2nd in 2022, 3rd in both 23 and 24. Now on match point here, looking to win again at MSI after 8 long years.
T1 5-man group.
Let's see what goes down here. I feel like some crazy shit's about to pop off.
So often we see big fights break out for this big objective. Accelerated shock blast finds no target. In the meantime, Canyon has secured the scuttle crab for the side of Gen G. 1 Drake to 1 for both sides here, as Canyon's going to start up the Herald on his own. T1 still looking for control over the mid wave. They'll push it up slightly faster, but Ruler can easily clear the minion right after. Carrier jumps in on an abyssal dive, and Gen G's ready to fire back. Carrier in danger, trying to pop the thick skin. Stays alive for now, but Ruler jumps in. Feet of Warfare going to be claimed by Gen G, and T1 picked the wrong moment. Gen G were ready to absorb the engage. They'll take the kill, they'll take the feet, and they'll take themselves the Herald.
Duro so quick
they took his feet.
Off of Carrier, trying to make
he needs those.
Duro takes a chunk of damage. T1 trying to contest his tower.
Spiraling despair on Ruler. He's got to flash away to stay alive. Keen putting a little bit of pressure onto Doran now as Chovy makes his way back into the fight.
Yeah, I learned my lesson the other day too about like watching shit on stream. I was like watching Demon Slayer, just like as a side thing. That shit I got fucking boinked. That shit, I got like an email in the morning like, the fuck were you thinking? Like, my bad. That TOS was not friendly about that. I even had it like behind, like, it was behind on my green screen. Like, I didn't get anything from Twitch, it was just YouTube. YouTube is like on some bullshit when it comes to TOS. Like, they'll hear some audio from something and it'll be like, oh, he watching this, and it's like, nah, there wasn't anything on the screen. It's just like their bots go crazy. Like, that shit will just delete your shit for no reason sometimes.
And they didn't have the follow-up CC because Guma actually spent the chompers just trying to keep the rest of Gen G out. So when you spend that Skarner all on Duro, who has already used all his
But Twitch is
spells,
like, I've noticed Twitch doesn't really care as much, especially for like smaller streamers. If it's a big stream, I get it. You don't want to just be like pirating to a whole bunch of people. But I've also seen like people watching anime and shit on the regular. But maybe I need to do a better job covering it. But it's probably my fault in the first place. But I mean, it definitely was. But like, YouTube got to consider like smaller streamers and stuff on their platform. I feel like it's a global kind of issue from what I've heard.
I think back to the beginning of spring, game 3 of this matchup.
Not exactly, yeah. There's like having audio from a show in the background.
Really came up clutch, and now, as you highlight, Azael, look at the gold invested into him. That Rod of Ages.
But watching these sort of like events and like reacting to events and like showcases and like new games coming out, so it's like something that I'd be kind of interested in. Especially with like kind of the. Not exactly. I woke up in the like I got like 2 emails like on my ass, dude. Like they were. They did not like it. Like it was. They deleted the VOD and everything. I was just like, alright, I got it on Twitch, but damn. Then again, I did stream like 6 episodes of Demon Slayer, so I don't know if that's definitely my fault, but
it's 4 turrets to 1. T1 seeing if there's anything they can find after, but for Duro, it's an easy grand entrance back of the wall. Ruler slammed in. Owner goes for the impale, but there's no backup. T1 desynchronized, and Owner has to use his.
I was liking watching that shit though. I need to go back and figure out a way to get around that at some point.
Immediately forcing a fire onto Doran. Owner overstepping his bounds, thinking he may have found a pick on the Ruler, but then he has to.
I also need to work on like watching YouTube videos in chat, because I need to like work on pausing it, because I don't pause it at all. I just kind of let it play and talk over it.
So stalwart. T1 should be able to grab this tower in the mid lane, but you know, even if the extra members
it's kind of like, to me initially, it's kind of like cringy about like with the voices and stuff, especially in the dub version. I feel like the Japanese is the way to go with it, just because it's super like emotional. It's super kind of like wholesome in a way, but it's like too much to a point where it's like the voice actors kind of got like weird about it. It's kind of how I felt. A lot of people probably don't feel the same way, but I don't know. For me, it was kind of like, oh.
Chovy could argue, listen, I only need 3 more stacks. I'm about to take over to level 13. Once I get that, I'll immediately jump up to level 14, and maybe that's the.
I like One Piece. One Piece is really good. If you ever like try to get into it, like Naruto, One Piece, and you have the big ones. Like Dragon Ball is always like classic, but that was just like a lot of screaming too, so it kind of like it's like 3 episodes of Goku just getting real mad and shit.
Which can be a very powerful tool to still have.
Just trauma dumping on the audience.
Duro looking to approach from the side, but immediately has to jump back into the Herald pit as Owner tags him and knows what Gen G is.
Apparently Dragon Ball is like super popular in Mexico. I never knew that. I like saw a YouTube video the other day. They have like parades and stuff about Dragon Ball down there. But it's because like what they're talking about is that it resonates super well with like the Mexican community. It talks about like strength, overcoming, like overcoming diversity, things like that. Just which I understand. It's like it's super like will driven.
Fishing for so many picks, and he finally finds one onto the mid laner of T1.
I just found that super interesting. I was like, damn, like it's like bigger than like a lot of religions down there, which is crazy to me. I won't say all of them, but like Christianity down there is pretty big.
Welcomes Doran to the battlefield. Duro stunned up into the wall. Grand exit right back over. Doran goes all out. Ton of damage. He's gonna get killed. Ruler.
But it's huge though. I was surprised.
T1 are washed from the rift, and Gen G crashed down like a tidal wave.
Yeah, there's also like a lot of. I've been trying to get into like K-drama, like Korean dramas and shit. I watched a few of them. They're pretty good. They're just kind of. They're whimsical. That's is like the best way of putting it. It's very kind of.
As soon as those tools are down, Ruler knows it is
kind of goofy in a way.
You could see how hard
a lot of charming kind of aspects to it, but sometimes it can be pretty funny.
The pressure coming in from all sides. Gen G find a massive fight, and as you said, Azael, with a lead like
my grandma really likes K-dramas. I don't know why, like how that happened, or the process that went down for her to start liking K-dramas so much. But she's like, oh, they cute boys. And I was like, oh, grandma, chill out.
I think Dragon's a great time to fight. T1 in the enemy jungle, recognizing, hey, Gen G wants the Drake. They'll try to get something on the other side of the map, claim the tier 1 turret, but they won't get a chance. Chovy's already there. Canyon will take the Drake. Super Mega Death Rocket just a little bit too late. As Keen versus Doran down here in the bottom side, it's not going to turn
Super Mega Death Rocket.
Canyon just looking to steal away the blue buff here at the same time.
Gumo around those objectives though, man, it just hits different.
Seeing the blue buff here at the same time.
You know, I was there in 2022 at the World Finals.
I mean, even in the last series, he stole multiple. This guy just seems to do it time and time again.
He's pretty good at AD carry.
Yes.
One would have to.
That checks out.
Assume. And now, though, the problem is
I've gotten like 3 random events happen in RuneScape, like in a row at one point, where they're just giving me hella kebabs and beer, and I didn't know what was going on. I fucked with it. It's just like there are like opportunities to make hella money from those. It's just all beer and kebabs. And I was like, all right, it is what it is.
But bringing out a hyper carry in response, just focus on farming your way through the game. Ruler's ahead in CS, he's ahead in kills, he's got 3 completed items, and now it's T1 that find themselves on the back foot when it comes to the fight. And Gen G, they are not slowing down with the pressure. Immediately into the topside jungle, taking full vision control and threatening the Baron in 27 seconds.
Big items for Gen G. Seeker's Arm Guard available for Chovy's Victor, makes him a much more difficult target. Dead Man's Plate for Canyon, much easier.
Oh, they're like sometimes they just be like doing a quest in RuneScape, and then like a little poof of smoke will appear, like next to your character, and it'll be like some dwarf or something being like, here's some beer and kebabs, and I'm like, what the fuck? They just take us some inventory space and shit. Like, I don't want that. I'm killing giants and shit. Like, don't need kebabs and beer in my inventory.
And Doran and Owner are going to be much squishier than they are used to in these situations. And there's just not really a lot of great comeback mechanics besides an explosive ult for
yeah, no, you can make some. Like, I'm playing Hardcore Iron Man right now. I don't know if you're familiar with it in RuneScape. But I've had like 1 life this whole time, and I haven't died yet.
Denying T1 what they're looking for this game. T1 have 3 kills. All 3 kills.
So I feel like I got a good thing going here with it. I'm just like super paranoid about getting into like a shitty situation that I just have no idea about. Just getting blindsided.
2,000 gold over his counterpart. Gen G will start the objective. T1 are going to see it there with the severing.
Damn, Gen G's coming back. This could be a 5 game. We go to game 5.
Beautiful start to the fight. Nobody on T1 dead yet. Owner over the wall, looking to try to engage. Super Mega Death Rocket finds a target. Ruler's still alive, but Doran's going after him. The Baron down to 2,000. Chovy's already on a rampage. As Guma dies. T1 die. Gen G hold the smoking gun.
T1 die.
Down mid lane with Baron.
A phenomenal team fight for Gen G as they weather the pressure.
Yeah, no, I've been playing RuneScape this whole time. That's why I'm kind of like, I haven't commented very much on the game. I'm just kind of like, I don't want to die, so I've been like looking over, checking my health bar and shit.
With a 5-man push, they dive Faker, they ace T1, and they guarantee us 1 final game. Gen G tie up the series. We're going to game 5.
How else could this
We're going to 12.
but in a
We're going to midnight.
The last time they met, it was 5. The lower bracket finals was 5. This is going to be the 9th series at MSI that goes the full 5 here. It has been an incredible tournament, and it just keeps getting better.
One last game to decide everything from the last 3 weeks. Analyst desk, what do you think?
I think I am so incredibly happy that we get to see silver scrapes. Gen.G held up their side of the...
Yeah, that's all the stuff I kind of have. I don't know if my like portfolio and shit is in there either. But...
We're getting one last game to rule.
Yeah, no, that's all my other streams and stuff that I have.
This tournament that has set the record for the most 5-game series.
I would appreciate it though.
You've
You've been a real one. I'm definitely gonna check your shit out after I go offline and send you some follows and stuff. If I ever get some like motion going too, I'll be able to like raid and stuff like that. It'd be cool. But...
They know each other so well. It's so exciting.
We're being so spoiled.
We really are.
Oh, and I dropped my email. But let's talk about how it all happened.
Dude, Shocks, the girl on the far left, has been in this shit since like. Oh wait, I'm covering her entirely. Wait. How do I do this? I just moved. I just moved the thing. Okay.
And it didn't really quite look as good. And I think here we're seeing, because if these comps were switched, I think Gen.G feels like, oh, it's so free. Multiple.
Nah, I feel you. I just made that shit too.
Tom Kench as well.
I just like wanted to be like available for every platform in case like in case just one of those like pops off more than the other or something. I wouldn't switch. I think unless Twitch pays me.
Goes a little bit too far and you get instantly punished. I have to shout out Canyon.
But
Canyon was so
I doubt
so early
I'm ever gonna like get that big. So
critical for the composition, but he had a mission this game. This man is one of the jungle goats, and he really put on a show. Ganking mid, getting Faker behind, getting the flashes blown, and punishing Keria. The pillar coming up behind him, no escape.
You've always loved him. I know that. I know that.
I am biased. It's true.
Emily?
Well, thank you though. I appreciate it.
It was Canyon's early map movement that really impressed me, right? Because he got pretty much played around all of his lanes, especially mid and top. We're able to get them ahead, and also his pillars in so many of these fights.
I need to get like those
crucial to separate the fight out.
Get some buttons set up.
I saw Owner be able to get a really
whatchamacallit, like the banner buttons.
And part of that was just
I need to get those as well. I feel like that'd be easier to kind of spot. Because I think it's just like links or something at the bottom, like below.
What I want to highlight, I actually think when it comes to impact in the series, which is crazy to me, Doran has been pulling ahead of Keen. I think Keen's laning phases have been great, but he was lacking the impact.
I feel that.
Jax. I think this Jace game again is early lane.
I think they're just harder to discover a lot. Like, I in the past have streamed a few different other times, like on other accounts, but it's been like I just was so inconsistent with it that I just felt like this time it's been a lot different though. I feel like I've been more like way more consistent.
I think that's good because what it does highlight is Keen, the standards that player has set for themselves in the LCK is insane.
But I think that's an important part of it as well because I just haven't like I'd stream once, get a few viewers, and then like never stream again was my issue.
After getting super gapped in the last one.
I feel like it's also really telling again of how well Doran now fits on this T1 roster.
But it did yeah, no, the smaller streamers definitely like top tier content. That's where all the good shit happens. It's like I feel like everybody else who has a lot of viewers are kind of like stuck in an algorithm or stuck in like a meta most of the time that works best.
Yeah.
Like smaller streamers just kind of wing it and be like, fuck it, let's stream something. It's more sociable too. You're able to like connect with the streamer a lot more.
That's beautiful. Anyways, that's intrusive thoughts one. Going into game 5 though, super crazy, right? We've got like T1 on the one hand who absolutely want to kill that win streak, but the win streak is still alive at 22 for Gen.G. There's all these sub-stories of Chovy, can he do it versus
that seems legit. I feel like AI could be used for that too.
Chovy has been really good so far this series, putting up some big
It'd just be hard to like
of course, yes.
Manage all that. I have to wake up and like go through my stream, and I just hate watching my own stream and stuff. I don't know why. I feel like it's the same thing as like hearing yourself
this epic road that they have paved.
I want you to
If that makes
feel
sense.
how long ago February is. Right, that's the insane part. It's been so long, and even if they're
No, that's facts, yeah.
how the series has been going, it's a complete toss-up for me in game number 5. But even taking that into account, that streak is crazy.
T1's on blue, so
that is big.
That's true. I want to take a look.
And usually that comes from like interactions with larger streamers, I think.
Specifically, right? We saw that most recent.
I think that's where people like, mainly
did end up in
find their success is having like a funny interaction or something IRL happen. That's really funny.
With a Jinx composition, come back, and they were able to win in that game 5. I think, yeah, there we go. Gen.G pulling a bit ahead in terms of percentage.
I think pulling a bit ahead, but the kicker here is that one of these just happened, and it was T1 versus Gen.G.
There's shocks right
Who
there.
benefits that now coming into that game 5 once again?
Well, I was gonna say the kicker.
Her top is crazy. The
T1 have played a lot more.
metallic, everything is chrome.
Overall, so to still have that 57.5% win rate is really impressive.
Yeah, and I know that there's a quote from Lore, who was talking to owner for OTP, where he talked about specifically 2022 DRX Game 5, and that he said,
I think that's like common for everybody though. I think it's like if you hear yourself talk, I think every person is kind of like, yeah, like I've heard a lot of people be like, I hate my own voice and things like that.
Yeah, this should be the champion pools of both.
I do want to like,
yeah.
I do want to like get into more
I have a trusty backup.
content based, like my own content, like playing games and stuff. But it's like having these sort of like things in the background. I feel like it kind of keeps it like, I don't know.
I mean, last time
Having something to kind of like look at on the side
Owner
is super nice.
Even though Gen.G ended up winning that
Helps
game.
with like
so maybe they don't do
background
that,
noise and things like that.
Towards the Aurora. I really feel like Chovia's been playing super
But I do need to
well.
go back and watch one of my like this stream. I'm probably gonna go back and look at how the audio is balanced and things like that.
Very well could be a really
I like horror games.
I feel like that champion with the loss on his back.
Playing it by myself is like hella scary, especially like in the dark. That'd be good for a video though too. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I might actually do like a Resident Evil stream at some point. Do like a playthrough or something. That does sound super dope. They also have the new one coming out, right? Like the one in Japan. I'm hyped. Is that Resident Evil? Oh, I've heard of Phasmophobia. Yeah. That shit would hit.
Last time, are you ready to scrape some silver?
What does that mean?
They have absolutely been shaking this building every game 5. Woo!
No, yeah, it sounds super fun. I'd be down for that. We just have to find a time that would work. I don't want like you being up super late just so that I can get on stream, you know what I mean? Like I'd probably have to do it earlier. I'd get on at like 6 or something, but we can figure it out. I have Discord too here. I think it's just Railway Spike on Discord, honestly. Oh, weird. Nah, I feel it. But my name is Percy though, so that's my Discord handle. But my username is Railway Spike on it, so. What's up, dog? Ooh, we should play Peak too. I heard that's a good one. That's also meta though, so it might pull in some people. I don't know how many people you need for it though. I feel like it's like 3 or 4, maybe 2. I don't know. I think it's possible 2 though. I'm not very familiar with it. Rise. Did I pronounce that right? Rise. Oh yeah. Oh, Reese. Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, no. Super done. Oh, I got you. Is that the song? Is that what the silver shredder? What did she say? Shave some. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I got you. Boom. Alright, I got you, Eddie. Yeah, Tyler went in the background. What the fuck? Someone had like a banner.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
oh shit, I need to eat.
For the final time this tournament, for the final time on this stage here in Vancouver, Canada. One last game to determine our MSI champions. One last game to see who is the better team between Gen G and T1.
I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better final. This MSI has given us the most best of 5s at any Riot international competition.
Yeah, no, same here.
These two teams, these long-standing
I feel like it'd be good for
rivals,
content though.
They will etch another chapter into the history books as it'll all come down to this. And gentlemen, we've seen a lot of one-sided game 5.
Same with like Repo. Repo looked fun.
Spicy stuff when these two teams hit
And
the ring.
like Lethal Company, things like that.
See what the choices are going to be. Game 5s previously.
Kind of those like bounty collector games.
But with game 4 being Jinx versus Zeri. Remember,
Is that like lobby multiplayer where you can just like join up with anybody, or is it you have to have a pre-made lobby? Can you even like solo it? Is that a thing?
There absolutely is.
I've watched some videos about it. I just haven't like. I've only seen like larger groups of people, or like multiple people in one group playing it at the same time.
We can see more aggressive picks, things like Draven. There's less meta picks like Ziggs, the AP bot laners that you can bring out. Ashe is still available. Caitlyn is still available. So there's still tons that these players can reach out and grab. To me, the question is not, can you find a champion that you can play in game 5?
But Lethal Company has some cool mods too.
Can you find a champion that you can
What
play
I've
in
noticed.
game 5 that has a good lane matchup, that is part of a
Yeah, they got some stacked mods that you can like mix and match them and like add a whole bunch.
Game 5 is so uniquely difficult. There's no prep you can really do because everything is based
Very
on what
kind of
has happened
Minecrafty in that way.
Finals ban rate for Nico, for Pantheon, and for Varus will remain at 100% for the series. Kaisa and Maokai also banned out by T1, who are back on the blue side as Gen G think about their final ban in the first half.
You have to imagine that Caitlyn is very high on the priority list for T1. Ooh, Gen G throw down the gauntlet. Canyons Nidalee is still available, but T1, will they prioritize their AD carry? Do they have something else in mind?
Nidalee's available as
Not
is its
exactly,
most
yeah.
classic pairing, the Renekton.
I think Repo's a little bit more like.
Do they want to deny it? And I actually think this is quite smart.
It's more engaging because it's like you can play like Lethal Company or whatever. You like run around and just pick stuff up, but like in Repo, you gotta kind of put it in the cart. All that. So it has a little bit more of an like a different aspect to it.
He's so amazing at. What we were looking at is
which I think is really cool. I think it's cool to have this kind of like additional details and stuff that kind of add to the game, especially if it works as well as Repo did.
One of those primary engaged supports that can be very, very popular.
There it is.
They'll take it anyway. Renekton not required.
I would not mind a Leona pairing. You need some sort of hard CC, I really do think. Some sort of setup to be able to land those spears, but maybe Canyon feels like, hey, I don't need it. I can just make it work anyway. Kobe talked about it on the desk last time we saw the Nidalee come out for Canyon against Owner. It was Owner's Lee Sin that really did rule the day, but the Lee Sin, of course, is banned now. So many of the strong physical damage junglers are all gone. You're having to reach pretty deep. Things like Nefiri that haven't been very popular. Things like Zed and Talon, if you want to go towards that AD route. Things like Kindred that we haven't really seen at all. Or you have to go the other path and go into some of these AP junglers. Things like we saw from Owner, such as the Lilia coming out.
But yeah, I hope the Unreal classes go well for you. There's a lot to learn in it. It's unique.
We talked about the Caitlyn earlier. That is currently the hover, and with time running
it's a fun like universal software.
Will be bringing out his tried and true Caitlyn in this game 5.
I think we may just get Caitlyn Karma here. Honestly, I do think
I like
it
playing
would be a
Caitlyn
really tough lane to contest this late into the draft. But Faker considering just going for the Ahri. Karma makes a lot more sense to me.
I might get back into League pretty soon too. Just for the competitive aspect. I just want something that I can like, I'm knowledgeable of, but also is like
I do think something like Ashe could
content.
Ashe has been so unpopular at MSI. It is a strong laner though, and especially when you're this late in the game.
I think it's so time consuming though, because it's like 30 minutes a game and shit like that.
So I'll be interested to see if Gen G do actually consider it.
T1 with a strong laner for topside, with a strong duo in their bot lane in the first 3 picks. Gen G, though, will lock in the Aurora. You can see here 6 and 9 throughout the tournament. It's been popular, but it hasn't been the most successful.
But you have to come back to the question of, is it Chovy piloting it? The man is a monster on this champion, and with the pool as limited as it is, Gen G can attack that mid lane. They can narrow the options available, but it depends how confident Canyon feels in what he is playing against Owner. They have so much luxury in what they can limit. T1 can go for, but T1 can respond by narrowing that AD carry pool.
They're going to ban the TF. You know, they could ban the Ahri that was hovered earlier if they are trying to really focus in on Faker here.
Oh yeah.
Faker does have so many champions he's played over the years. The question is, how comfortable is he in a high-pressure situation like this, bringing something out that he maybe hasn't been scrimming with recently? Because that can be the situation sometimes if you're getting heavily target banned and flex picks have been used for other roles in a Game 5 series.
Yeah, kind of having that like early kind of experience and exposure to softwares like that, super helpful. It kind of like grows with you, if that makes sense. It's like for me, it was a lot of like Photoshop and stuff when I was in high school. And that was kind of like my forte. It's like graphic design, things like that. And that kind of translated super well into 3D modeling and things like that. Just knowing the tools and kind of seeing the similarities between them. Super cool. That's why I like Unreal, I think, is because it has kind of a sandbox feel the same way in Photoshop that I'm used to.
Such a key part of it being so dominant.
A universal like interface in a way.
Much more long-range comp. So I do think yes, you can still make Lily.
Although Unreal does have a lot more
flashes and things like that with the additional move
like
speed on
coding and stuff involved.
It's a much harder game to play than the situation we saw him bring it out in yesterday. So yes, we are being pushed.
I do like their kind of like
when you look at a lot of these compositions,
their nodes and stuff that you can use for Unreal. It's super fun.
Much earlier in a draft.
You can really like make those like coding connections and things like that.
The thing that I'm looking at here on this composition, a total lack of engage, a lack of lockdown. Gen G still need hard CC somewhere as we wait to see the T1 picks for jungle and mid.
And that's where you maybe start to really cook. Maybe you go to a weird support here, something that is off meta. It's going to be Viego Ahri. Yeah, as soon as you lock the Viego, I think you're going Ahri here because it's such a strong pairing. It's about that upfront burst. Ari enables Viego by helping you get that first reset. And then Viego, of course, is helping Ari as well by finishing off that kill, giving you additional charges of the ultimate to continue running over fights here. Very exciting stuff, but not easy engage tools being drafted. Pyke would give them some way to start a fight, but it is so risky.
Thinking about Gragas as an option as well, the hover.
Gragas aboard, I think, could be smart.
Oh, they're going full. Ooh.
Nope.
Oh.
We're going Pyke.
My goodness, Duro. Carrier was one of his idols while he was attempting to make his way through the challenger scene in Korea. Upon being part of the LCK and having to face Carrier, he realized the gap that existed between them.
Hell yeah,
Here
dude.
he is today, matching against
No, that's
Carrier
huge.
and bringing out a champion that is synonymous with the man. Duro will be playing Pyke into Carrier's Karma.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about college for me that I kind of took away from it was just like having that in the back of my mind that I have that experience and that it looks really good like on paper and everything, but like knowing that you went through it and got through it and that you don't have to go back to it, or it's not something that you missed out on, it's going to be something super, I think, insightful. It's like you actually did it and you didn't avoid it. Because a lot of people just avoid school. They'll look it out, they'll do what you did, like you said, work a lot. And they'll get kind of stuck in that like cycle. They won't ever really get out. They'll just start drinking and smoking and doing all that shit. But then like when you don't want to do that anymore, you know what I mean? It's like you're really just like hiding or coping. But just knowing that you like have that like, yeah, I think it's one of the cooler parts about it. But no, congrats on kind of getting out and doing that, though. That's huge. Hell, people don't do that. Just the fact that you were like, maybe this is cool. Like, a lot of people like learn to hate college and shit like that, or people who went to college. It's like, they'll have like a personal grudge against it. But like,
you are food for the opponents. You're the road. Exactly. You are.
Even if you do, just separating yourself from it, kind of going head first into it, it's huge, it's big.
His Italy is iconic. He has been dominating on it for so long. So you have to think if there's anyone that could pull off a comp like this against T1, it would be Gen G.
And it doesn't like guarantee you a job or anything, but it like it definitely gives you that opening to progress. If that makes sense.
Smites, junglers, both having so much carry potential if they get ahead in this game.
Low engage compositions are environments.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you can like go party after work with friends and stuff. Like those friends will eventually like move away or like follow their dreams and all that. So it's just like being able to like okay, this is what I like. You already know what you like, and just like committing to something like that is really good. And just like on a resume, like it says that you're committed to the subject. You can manage a whole bunch of different things in life at the same time. It's just impressive to have.
To get that full channel bullet time.
I really was expecting the Ezreal to come through, having that extra bit of safety into this matchup specifically, but they wanted more AoE
kudos to you.
Power. Ruler and Duro going to be pushed back. Another hook connects. 2 for 2 now for Duro.
Nice hooks, but of course T1 has the push and they have the level advantage, so it's just a bit of poke. We are in Game 5 here, and I want to talk about these two teams and how they have performed in these Game 5s. T1, 19-4, it says in Game 5 win rates.
14.
Excuse me. Sure. It must be 19 and 14, exactly. And then over on the other side, it is a 65% win rate here for Gen G in those Game 5s. So both teams have a solid track record here, but the pressure cannot be higher than in a moment like this.
Tri-lane camera shows how everything is starting off here with Doran having the push here in the top lane. Carrier and Gumayushi doing the same in bottom. It's exactly what I expected, seeing those first 3 picks in the draft for T1. The powerful laning phases allowing them to build advantages early. Doran's already proxy farming. He knows that Canyon should be at the bottom side of the map, and Canyon is there right now. Spear flies out, doesn't find anything. Airball on that one, as Canyon sees no opportunity here.
Oh, I need my key.
Duro, considering the early pressure, they're really not that far behind.
Let's see where this game goes. It could go either way, I think. Statistically, I think T1 has a better history of winning these kind of 2-2s.
On this champion specifically, just loves to play in your face, chipping away at your HP bar as much as he can. The hook will miss from Duro.
Lone skewer.
So this should be super interesting.
Nice hits from Canyon.
It is a good bit of poke, but Faker likely just going back to base anyway. So we'll be able to recall and TP back here. So not going to be too big of a deal. But it does mean Chovy's going to get the luxury of pushing in this extra wave before he has the base. Likely will deny a minion or two. Guma and Keria, anytime Canyon shows himself, they are going to be pushing relentlessly.
They got out in California. They got a whole bunch of shit going on. But yeah, when I was younger, I went to like PAX East and stuff. Back when it was like the 4th year of it, and I met a whole bunch of like the. This is when it was like kind of peaking in a way, where it was blowing up big at the time, just because it was like a new form of competitive game.
They have to commit the flash from Doran, but they make it happen.
Riot's awesome. They've been in the game for a while. They know what they're doing. They've gone through a whole bunch of different social kind of standard changes.
And there's not really any outplaying that for Keen. It's the flash stun to set it up. A guaranteed follow for Owner.
I do think
no way he can get out. They're gonna look for Faker though.
Disney bought something at some point, so I think they have a lot of Disney. I think that's why I like a lot of their character designs kind of got more.
You heal your teammate, and that is just giving him basically an extra potion worth of HP.
Like flamboyant in a way.
Kind of pushes the lane in their favor. And
because they used to be all about death and shit.
He's just doing a quick drive-by, throws a spear, sees if there's
yeah, no, right stuff. But they used to be like hardcore, like big swords, battles, hot women doing cool shit. And then it kind of turned into like rainbows and sunshines and shit. So it was kind of a huge kind of transition, especially after Disney stepped in a way.
Level 6 is really valuable for Duro, having that execute.
Which I think that happens a lot with like anything Disney kind of touches in a way. Not like a negative way, but just like
500 gold lead.
They usually like with Star Wars, they kind of added like that, like a lot of like gay aspect to it.
Down there in the bottom lane, you can see the ping from Owner from T1 as the Viego moves to take that first objective.
Which I'm not opposed to. It's just like there's a theme that I feel like needs to be stuck with a lot of the time. And sometimes.
This is the time that we're seeing this game flash away from Keria there with pressure from Duro and Canyon. This is the time.
Sometimes it just like backfires in a way. Especially when it comes to bigger companies and. Ooh. That's crazy.
Gen.G pull off the perfect dive there, juggling the aggro flawlessly. Keria and Guma get nothing back here. They do get a dragon on the bot side thanks to Owner, but what a big play for Gen.G to be able to pull off, and the perfect place for all the gold to go right into Ruler's pockets.
Chovy's base will be interrupted, but so much credit on that dive needs to be given to Duro because he.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not like a bad thing. It's just like sometimes the themes of like Star Wars and stuff was like Darth Maul. I feel like is such a like having like General Grievous and like Darth Maul and like all these sort of like badass robots and shit like that, and then kind of going in a direction where it was more like female leads and things like that. Like it's not bad. It's just like for Star Wars, it seems a little intense. And it seemed like it would be kind of a mismatch in a way. But I think they did a good job with what they had. Like they pulled it off, but it was just. I think a lot of the older generation, like prior, were so used to like Star Wars being a male-led concept. And they're the ones who mainly kind of got upset about it.
Spawning as Doran slices away from the bone skewer.
It's like Baby Yoda was so out like left field.
Likely wouldn't be put in a position where he could actually die, but definitely
But it worked.
Want to lose
Like it didn't backfire. It's just it was different. It's like unexpected from anything Lucasfilms would have produced.
Don't know where everybody on Gen G is right now. We know that nobody was in the area, but T1 now knows that Gen G is also in their jungle and they're scrambling to defend.
Barry did get the big raptor there, was able to take that away, and Owner wanted to defend his side. Doran's coming. They could look for a threatening.
Yeah, Doran potentially
Yeah,
ready
Star Wars
to
is
block
dope.
that
It's
tri-rush
just
escape route, but Ken
yeah.
and Duro, both these champions are so hyper-mobile.
My dad was so dead set on me watching it like in a certain order growing up, where he was like the one that he initially saw, which was like the fourth one, like 4, 5, and then 6, and then watching it 1, 2, and 3 was like the order he had me watch it, because that's just the order they came out in. So for me, that was a little like not confusing, but I was just like I felt like I was getting flooded with information the first few that I watched, whereas like he just kind of kick off with like the first one's like Anakin and all that, like as a kid, and then you get into like the fourth one where he's like not there anymore and has like completely changed his persona. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like it's like damn, it's just not the same character. But it was cool though seeing that transition though, because that's what they had to work with, was getting him to a certain point where he wasn't the same character, had to become what he is.
Flash commits the stun, sets up for the kill, and as you rightly said, it's Owner that gets 2.
It's hard to understand, I feel like, without seeing it. But
I respect the effort, but Owner's got it on lock.
It's a fun watch though.
Now we find ourselves in a very even game state once more.
No, exactly.
Of course,
yeah.
At the bottom of your screen, you see blue in favor of Doran, blue in favor of Owner.
Like the
blue in
first one's
favor of
funny though.
Faker.
That's actually my favorite one, where they're like racing the pods and all that. I thought that was super cool. Because that was when like early 2000 movies type beats, where it was like the CGI I felt like was peak back then.
10 minutes into the game, he's going to be the man to watch as we move into the mid game.
Yeah, how's that?
At least for me, I feel like, I mean, it's definitely like evolved and become better over time, but like it just felt like there was a lot of soul in it, especially with CGI and being kind of tech savvy. You kind of like notice those sort of things. And now AI is just like everything feels so soulless, like in movies especially. It's like that's what was it, Spider-Man or whatever, where it's like it's like the super artsy 3D one, where it's
whoever gets the first
people really liked it.
Really is going to run away with the whole thing.
They had all those like the good soundtrack and all that, but it was just the movie itself felt like it was like entirely AI generated.
Without a true front line, the tankiest player on either side is a bruiser in a
I forget what it was called. It was like
but there's no real front lines in this game.
Was it No Way Home? I think. It was the one where it was like animated though.
So many times before when the two mid laners
Let me see.
met. You can feel the tension. Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. Neither side wanting to make
No, it wasn't No Way Home, I don't think. It was
You can't afford to concede that space, and Gen G doing just that. Good vision coverage around the bot river. Faker clears out that bot wave, allowing for T1 to have an avenue.
Ooh. Bone Skewer came close on Carrier.
Yeah, no, that's so dope. I need to go to more like anime conventions and stuff. I feel like that's where you can like meet a whole bunch of cool cosplays and things like that. I know what you mean for that, because I remember like seeing League of Legends back in the day and all the cosplays that they had, and I was like, that's cool and all, but like I didn't know what it was from. And then I started playing it, and I was like, damn, like they did a good job with that cosplay, like especially like people when they like go into character and get their good mannerisms and stuff. It's dope.
No ulti. Doran arrives into the fight, but he arrives too late. He gets shot as soon as he lands, and T1 back off.
Yeah, Faker tried to flash in and find the charm, could not connect on it, and as a result, they kind of got exposed there.
Man, this game is close too. It's still 50-50.
Ruler pushes them back with his ulti, does earn them this dragon here. Gen G don't get a kill, but do grab their first objective.
It's like, you see how long these games are? It's like playing something like this back to back all the time. I feel like that's like what League streamers do, and it just becomes so
They have
like
to
exhausting.
land the poke from Canyon. They're waiting for a hook from Duro. Maybe the slow from Ruler to land a double up. They're basically just chipping away at T1's HP bars before they can find an opportunity to fight. T1, maybe they overstep, they over-aggress, fishing too hard for a pick, and then they get punished. Patience is key for Gen G as T1 try to put on pressure.
The owner now has that Triforce done. Is going to be doing a lot of damage, and Canyon has just rushed straight towards the Lich Bane. Major item completions are starting to come through. You know, Ruler has had that BT for a while, but Guma now has his Yuntal. You can see Faker with the Malignance completed. Sundered Sky done for Keen, who didn't go for the tier 2 boots. So even though he is down on gold, he is quite strong here also.
Lich Bane, very powerful on Nidalee as long as you can get in range to get the empowered auto attack after.
Powerful.
You cannot just be standing back as the artillery machine with the spears, which means everybody else needs to be ready. If one lands, everyone goes in. Everybody goes for that kill. Sundered Sky completed for Keen's Aatrox.
But yeah, Star Wars definitely worth the watch.
To get the tier 2 boots first, still needs
Look at this dude, there's a little gnome over here.
One of the most difficult
He's harassing a different guy this time though.
Exactly how much damage you're going to put out.
Like a beer and shit.
To actually pounce in there. It is so risky. You have to be certain that you are going in and you are going to be able to finish off that kill. Otherwise, you're so incredibly squishy that it's almost certainly going to mean your death. And Canyon is a master of this champion. Best Nidalee in the
I love Assassin's Creed. I played the third one when I was a kid. That shit is the only reason I passed my like American history class. That shit went crazy. But it was like lore accurate. It's like that shit was so legit. I felt like it had me like understanding what the fuck happened in America. Like that was in the books or whatever. It's super cool. They're all historic too. They have a lot of like historic figures in them, which I really appreciate.
So that T1 never feel the confidence to try to fully engage.
I wanted to play Odyssey, I think. That'd be a good stream one, but I hear it's huge. I never played Red Dead though.
Doran is very low and doesn't have TP available.
Faker pushing the tier 1 turret in the bottom lane the entire time. The skill shots fly back and forth in mid.
Red Dead is something I've always wanted to play, but it's just such a big game. It feels like one of those commitment games where it's, you gotta play it for like 100 hours plus to fully get it.
It is claimed and secured by Canyon. Keen trying to get away from the Karma Root as Doran goes over the wall. Flash Ruthless Predator. Doran is low. Bullet time gets him. Gumayushi barely staying alive.
Damn.
Kills back the other way. Chovy stepping up. Doran and owner down. Traded for Keen.
An aggressive flash from Doran to set up the fight onto Keen. They think that if they can start to get the resets off onto owner, then they can start to snowball this fight. But they go a little too deep, and the fight doesn't go their way.
And I should never have doubted Ruler. This
man
is
sick.
finding ulti after ulti as the flash in here from Doran. But Ruler just steps back and finds a massive
so he got the connections.
Everyone. Guma has to bury, he has to flash out. Everyone has to retreat there from T1. As the counter engage was just
holy.
It certainly was.
Bro is gassed.
The wombo combo provided. T1 had to immediately backstep, and owner realized, oh no, I am way too deep and I do not have the support. Gen G now with a confident gold lead, 1.2k the advantage, and Dragon only 55 seconds away.
This game 5 delivering, staying close.
That's so cool.
It's the feat of warfare for T1. It is the feat of turrets for Gen G. And it is 2-2 on neutral objectives.
And that's just somebody you know too, personally. So it's all just connected in that way.
Overall for whoever claims it, 1,000 gold lead for Gen G as Doran is pushing up the wave here on the top side. Both top laners have their teleports available to use.
The question to me is, will T1 try to fight it? They're missing a lot
I wish
of
my
flashes. There
elementary school or primary school teachers were
no flash on Viego,
that cool.
Caitlyn.
I think they're still just teaching. I
I
don't think it really ever got better for them.
Fishing with the bone skewers. Keen lands the infernal chains on the carry, but the Karma's plenty fast enough to step away. Chovy going between worlds. Carry the
That's so
target here
sick.
with the very start, as now Doran's going to be burst down very quickly. Q3 won't kill him, and Gen G.
That's definitely like a door opener where you can just like hit him up. You're like, yo.
Chovy gets enough damage, and Keen gets the kill. Gen G
tap me in. Let me see what's going on behind the scenes. But you also got that like studio stuff going on too, which is sick.
Continues to push in the wave, but Gen.G will not slow down. Duro is fishing for a hook. He will be spotted, but they find themselves a pick.
You gotta
They
stay
set
on
their
that.
sights on the tower, and Gen.G
Keep
is
that ball
quickly
rolling.
taking
It
control
might
of
be
this
a
game.
lot low
And
school
T1
too.
just really weren't in position to take that fight. Owner was looking for.
Because I was working during school and I was so tired all the time. I felt like I like never had a break.
So it's then a very difficult start to the fight because it's essentially a 5v3 for Gen.G as the fight does kick off. And T1 just don't really have the ability to fight back in that situation.
I was gonna just shave too much shit.
Infinity Edge now finished for Ruler.
Like, I like the beard and everything. It's just
the
like
AD carry of Gen.G. The return
for
of
like
Ruler to
biking
Gen.G.
and stuff, and I get all sweaty,
He
and that
is
should
the
be like
main carry to watch,
I don't know. That should just be
the
weird.
man that T1 needs to shut down.
Drake shouldn't be truly contested here. Doran's hanging around.
Hell yeah.
But
That's
Renekton
sick.
can't do anything over the
Yeah, I wasn't the
wall,
best
and
either in school. I was always fucking around too much.
claim the next Drake.
And the feats of
I didn't like
strength there.
skip or
They're gonna
anything,
get
but I was always like,
off the back of that T1 just not feeling
I was
that
just
they
like
are in a
starting shit
position
in
to really
class
get
for no
anything
reason.
done. Faker has spent a ton of
started
time
shit, like,
in the side lane, and as a result,
I was
he's
a
the only
distraction
player
in a
on his
way
team with
where
a
I was
gold
just
lead.
constantly
So he's gonna have to find a big moment to equalize things
like
because everyone else is falling
making
behind.
other kids get off task and shit.
His charm could be the difference maker. Ruler with the cleanse available, but if they can get that summoner spell out, Faker finding or utilizing the fog of war, I should say, coming out from an angle that can catch them off guard. Ahri is the type of champion that can change games off a single play.
It really can. I mean, even with the cleanse, sometimes the damage could be too much. Also, Canyon, very susceptible to those plays. Duro, if he goes in and gets charmed, could also be very vulnerable. There's so many squishy members on Gen.G.
Starting with some
T1
defense.
really execute
I'm 40'd
and
out right
perfectly,
now.
They can punish them. You can see, though, Chovy and Canyon both heading down for Doran, who is going to be backing off and playing respectful to the fact he's actually going to TP out, so very nervous that the collapse. Thought someone might have been behind him, and I think that's why he's TPing out. They're just going to start it.
Yeah, they're going to take the opportunity to say, all right, we think that they're overloading down here in the bot side. Let's
It's like a Transformers villain.
Are going after the Otacon. It's already down to half HP. Duro and Ruler stepping up. Doran taking a little bit of damage as the bullet time flies out.
We are the Otacons.
1/3 HP. It buys enough time for Gen.G to try to revive. Kanan has made his way into the objective. Looking to slide it down. Canyon thinly gets the Otacon. Gumayushi caught between worlds.
Damn, they took it. Might be game.
Straight to hell. Keen, wings spread wide, looks for more. Canyon misses the spear. Keen hits the Q2, needs a little bit more damage, trying to find it. Chovy forces a flash, and Gen.G stand tall.
T1 force the Otacon. T1 bring the fight to Gen.G, but it is Ruler's ultimate that pushes them back. It is Canyon that secures the smite, and it is Gumayushi that falls.
And Chovy just barely didn't have his TP when Doran TP'd up. So I think T1 were thinking maybe we had more time without Chovy having that teleport.
That's the
maybe
worst.
it's going to be a 5v4. But Chovy's teleport.
I think I skipped like the last few classes of like before summer.
And then it is just
like our teacher left on vacation like a week before. So I was just like, fuck it. Substitute, say less.
League of Legends,
it didn't even matter. Like,
at the top level, is a game of inches. It is a game of seconds. It is a game where the smallest
bro, I just shouldn't have got like a sandwich or something. I was did some bullshit. I like when I smoked weed or something. Ooh, a curved bone.
Drakes with a 3,000 gold advantage are looking good. 22 minutes into this final game of the grand finals.
Faker, the only member that remains deathless on the side of Tier 1. Owner hasn't given up, looks for a play onto Chovy, forces him back, but he will not fall, he will not burn the flash. You can feel how desperate the situation is for Tier 1. The game is quickly slipping away from them, and they need to find plays where they can.
The two I'm looking
oh shit,
for that
I just realized my follower XP bar above my game. That shit went up past the first bar. We're up. Big W for the stream. First little checkpoint.
To cut down some of the healing.
And I think Guma should have IE on this space.
Nah,
He's
for
been
real.
sitting on Pickaxe Cloak for a long
I can't think
time.
about that. I'm like,
No, he doesn't.
I see
He's
so
still
like.
short. Just has the BF sword, so
Like I had an opportunity to be like a elementary school, or I think it was middle school substitute teacher, and I was like, that sounds like thinking back, I was like, that sounds like torture. Like 7 hours of like middle school, like 30 middle schoolers at a time. Like, holy shit.
And when you think about Caitlyn, you think about the setups for neutral objectives. You think about the line of Yordle snap traps to make your opponents have to check into you. But for T1, when you're down 3,500 gold, it's so difficult to go and try to get to the area.
Thanks for sticking around too. A lot of people will just like join, say what's up, and then just kind of disappear. You've been chilling though. I appreciate that. It's been fun having somebody to kind of talk to and kind of, I don't know.
T1 could look to concede this objective.
I appreciate that.
Cross map, secure that top tower, get a bit of gold back for themselves. Now with the Infinity Edge finish for Gumayusi, perhaps gold should be the priority. But what will they do about Ruler? Ticking over to level 14.
And we can remember back to the World's 2023 semifinals when Faker was on Azir and he found Ruler when Ruler was on JDG, and he found the angle to win there. Now can his army find a similar opportunity? Gen G setting up here in the bot
This has
side
been a grind on Iron Man.
has his Infinity Edge on the Caitlyn. Gen G already with the objective, down to 5,000. Faker and Doran over the backside of the pit looking for their entry here into the fight. The Drake down to 3K. Chovy going between worlds. T1 forced away. Drake claimed by Ruler. Now Owner and Faker here at the very start. Reset for Owner. He's low, but he ain't dead yet. Keen goes in for the killing spree. Stunned up by Doran, but Ruler is still ready to fire. Doran wants to slice and dice, but it's a double kill to Keen. Chovy still chasing. Faker only tagged with a twofold hex.
Baker found the charm and Owner found the kill on to Canyon, but not before Gen G got the dragon.
It's like T1 just doesn't give up. It's just crazy, and they'll come back sometimes too. It's just insane. This game's getting good though.
Alive, and Gen G feel monstrous. They feel like a mountain that cannot be overcome. We look back at the play, and it's Canyon that does get targeted. Faker finds an incredible angle, but the response
I hear that now for real.
to fight back.
It's like some are cool. I don't know. I feel like I didn't like disrespect or do anything like shitty towards like the cool ones, but some of them were just assholes for no reason, especially like kids and stuff. It's like I felt like that's what kind of like separated the like cool substitutes, which is like being able to like actually just not be an asshole to like kids.
Having that ultimate available, being able to push him back, it's been very difficult for T1 to find a way to get Guma involved in these.
It's like kids don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just trying to survive.
What a game state for Gen G here in game number 5. Soul Point, 5,000 gold lead, really in a commanding position against their longtime rivals as they take control over the
There's like a
topside
good difference between like.
Here. Ruler level 15. Doran is not.
I feel like kids are kind of intuitive in that way, where it's, they can pick up on like
that he is
shitty, like people who are just being shitty for being shitty versus like having a good reason or like. It's like if you're not in the mood to substitute like a class, then don't do it. You know, like it's easy.
Big chunk there onto Keria with the spear. Now Gen G's got to be a little bit careful. Owner goes in for the Spectral Maw, but Duro dashing back away. TP coming in as Gen G immediately trying to go after Doran. A lot of damage back onto him with the bullet time over the top of the angle to find a kill here. Just get Chovy looking to get away. Keen unstoppable. Nobody on Gen G is down. Keen with a double kill. And Gen G are so much better in the team fights.
Their efforts are not enough. T1 cannot find a single.
I wonder if Faker's gonna cry if he loses. He cried one time during the finals. He got shit on or something, and he like.
They're trying their best to escape. Duro will let them free as the Baron is
Nah, dead ass. Like.
Able to get the Baron there, Chovy.
You know what I mean? It's like he, especially if they reacted and it was just like, it was like an overreaction to a kid or something. It'd be like, okay, I'm gonna make it worse, because it would just be like, nah, like having self-control around kids is important. You know, like,
We can watch it one more time.
Because some people would just get so upset.
No time. The teleport was coming in here.
It was bad.
Gen G realized they have got to defend this
Like
teleport.
teachers like that would cry.
Isolated from the rest of the team. So as they go in, Doran gets hooked and he just flashes.
It's like, bro, stop letting kids get to you like that. Like, it's
he is rooted up. He is burst incredibly low, but look at Owner chasing after him. Can't get the last hits to finish him off.
He not only body blocks the ultimate from Caitlyn, but also gets the kill onto Owner. Keen acting as both defense and offense in that play as he swings the fight.
It's like sometimes there wouldn't be a problem and the teacher would just start crying and getting upset. It's like, bro.
Keen has had strong individual performances on
Like,
his top lane matchups. And here in this game, 6-2-1. He's feeling great on the Aatrox. Turret destroyed. Down there in the bottom lane. A Baroned up Gen G. 8,000 gold ahead. Duro with a bone skewer onto Faker. It's not a kill, but it gets the Spirit Rush. Without the ulti, the Ahri is so much weaker. And the last bit of damage from the twofold Hex return into the Electrocute puts Faker at 5% HP.
Do you ever have any of like those old substitute teachers that just be old and like just confused the whole time? Like that shit always had me dying.
And no one is going to be able to answer the top lane. Doran was trying to push out that bot lane wave to be able to answer there, but you can see Keen was pushing in the top side.
Or they just say some shit that's just completely wrong and just like not like wrong in a bad way, but just like not correct. Like it would just be like
10 seconds just about
like,
until that
it would just be like, yeah, America's been around since like 100 AD. It's like, no, it hasn't, bro. What the fuck?
Because Gen G is already back out onto the map.
That shit would have me rolling.
His way towards the bot side river. Ruler right behind him. Chovy gonna push out that mid wave. A flawless performance from the man in mid. 1-0-9 the scoreline. 100% kill participation. And Ruler will waste no time securing this dragon.
T1 are in a desperate spot. They needed to chase after Keen because they've got to find any opportunity they can. But the cost is the inability to fight for the Dragon Soul. It is Mountain Soul claimed by Gen G.
And now I think the only hope for T1 is you try to buy time until an Elder spawn and you pray that you can somehow get over there and steal it. But Gen G, I don't think are going to give you that time. They are so far ahead at this point. 7,000 gold, Mountain Soul against a composition that needs that first kill, that needs the upfront burst. And it's now
like I had this one teacher, she was an art teacher.
They want to be able to get anything done.
And it was so classic. It was literally just like a kid in the back. I would sit in the back, but like another kid would like make paper airplanes and shit and just throw them. It was like so like classic school fucking mean, you know what I mean? Like throwing paper airplanes in class and shit, and it like hit the whiteboard. And they turn around and be like, who did that? Like it would literally be like that. I was just like, bro, do you not, like, it's not a big deal. It's just like have some fun sometimes, like. But like, I remember like she used to blame me for absolutely no reason. So it would be like, someone would like throw a paper ball or something, and it just wouldn't be me. She'd be like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "What?" It'd be like, "No, it just wasn't me." So like, I used to get like suspended for shit for no reason. And I'd just be chilling, like everybody in the class would be like, "It wasn't him." Like, it should be like, "Nah, y'all can't trick me." It's like, "No, bro, like, it really wasn't me."
Entire split long in the LCK didn't drop a single series. They have been perfect at MSI.
But yeah, no, that shit was classic.
It did not drop a single series. Something that has never been done before. And Gen G getting
I used to be kind of pressed about that too, because then I'd be like, I'd be the one getting like shit, or I'd have to like go to ISS or something for like the rest of class, and I just wouldn't have done anything. And I actually like enjoyed doing art and stuff. Like same with like any computer class or whatever. I'd love like kind of doing that just because like video games and like understanding how shit works, that was fun to me. But then like art was also like fun as well, just because it's like it felt like a recess in a way.
Palpable for T1 as you could see how dark the fog of war is right now.
Gen G putting pressure across the entire map. T1 will need a miracle. The magic of this roster has been seen before. And they will need to find it.
Nah, exactly. You know what's up, dog. We're like the same. We've lived the same life, dude. Like,
It's an incredibly desperate situation.
it's so crazy. It's like,
one man you would put your faith in,
but like deep down, I'd be like, fuck, I don't want to get in trouble for this because I didn't even do anything. Like, it'd be one thing to like do some like ignorant shit and then receive punishment for it and be like, okay, I deserve that. But like, for me, I'd be like doing some cool art and just fucking around, like having fun and shit, and then it'd be like, get out of my room. I'm like, oh, alright, dog, my bad. Like, don't know what I did, but it's cool.
Just trying to make sure he does not take damage while T1 steps up. Genji, Canyon jumps back away. The Mountain Soul Shield absorbing.
But nah, you know what's up. It is interesting, especially in like middle school and all that.
They'll get it shoved out and they'll move back into the river.
I mean, just look at the shield on Ruler. The Bloodthirster shield plus the Mountain Soul shield is so much to get through. And they can just sustain off of this Baron. They're going to start it up and force T1's hand.
Genji daring T1 to answer them at the Baron. Chovy and Duro are the ones.
T1 has to do something about the Baron.
The flash charm, but he won't find it. Owner looking for a chance to steal with the bullet time, immediately forcing him all the way away. He tries to survive, but Canyon will bury him in the river. Genji, Baron +1.
Faker tries his best to find a play onto Chovy, but he will not allow
yeah,
it.
but hitting the remote and all that, same thing. It's like, didn't do it. Like, in his school, you're like friends with hella people too, I'd assume. So it's like, you're not gonna like snitch or like be like, it was him. Like, like fuck it. It's not that like big of a deal. But the teachers always made it into something like this way bigger than what it actually was. And I was like, these teachers are just here to make money now. It's not it.
It's unrelenting. The wave clear just isn't there for T1. Now 2 inhibitors fall. It's simply a matter of time.
Owner is back alive. The last stand of T1. Doran slices forward, but it won't matter. The first Nexus turret is
yeah, the only place in Europe I've been is I've been to Austria.
T1 backing away. Genji with a massive advantage.
I went skiing out in Austria at one point. I was like 18, I think.
Genji, they did not falter on the road to MSI. They didn't fail here in Vancouver for 23 series. They have chased perfection, and now they found it.
Damn, Faker got shit on him. He lost. That's insane.
Genji have done the impossible, a perfect split into a perfect international tournament here. This team truly has achieved the closest thing to perfection you can do in League of Legends. Absolutely insane. Many times they were pushed to the brink. Every single time they stood tall. And now
they ran that hoe.
They can reap their rewards.
They are not just MSI champions. They are back to back.
Exactly, dude. Like, when a teacher cries, it's like, I'm in school. Like, I don't, like get a grip. Like, bro, I'm the one who should be upset. Like,
simply an incredible run from Genji. They sought
not exactly it. Like, just say one thing and it's like they can't take it. Like, it.
Pushed them to the very
I guess they're just stressed out their fucking minds. I don't know. It's like, dude, like, these are kids, you know, like you can't take that shit to heart, especially as a teacher. It's like they're here to learn, not learn how to cry when you get called a bitch. You know, like.
What a journey for this team. Never falling to the lower bracket. Game 5s, yeah, they were challenged, but every challenge.
If anything, they should teach you how to not cry if you get called a bitch. Like.
Their victory, and now we're handing things down.
Because that shit is counterintuitive. That is not progressive for me.
Thank you so much.
Nah, yeah, it'd be like that. Especially with like that that art teacher I was talking about. She'd always just laser in on me every time she turned around and be like, I wouldn't even be doing shit wrong. I'd be like literally the only one doing anything that she'd ask. So it was like the fact that I engaged with it even was my bad, I guess. But art was my shit in school, so I was like, all right, bet. Art class. I like art.
And why did you think it was going to be the one that was going to bring you the victory today?
듀로 선수 첫 국제대회였고 첫 국제대회에서 이렇게 우승까지 이루어냈습니다. 5꽉 경기 끝에 승리하셨는데요. 5세트 정말 중요한 순간에 파이크가 등장했습니다. 굉장히 리스크 챔피언인데요. 어떤 자신감으로 파이크를 뽑을 수 있었는지 그리고 5세트란 순간에서 파이크가 왜 우리가 필요한 픽이다라고 결정하셨나요?
일단 파이크 말고 다른 선택지가 진짜 너무 애매했어가지고 애매한 거 해서 캐틀 카르마한테 망하는 거보다는 자 클렉 한번 노려보자 해서 자신도 있고 해서 파이크를 뽑게 된 것 같습니다.
I had several other options and they were pretty meh and mid. So instead of going for this mid options, I would rather go with Pike because I didn't want to get smacked by Caitlyn Karma in lane. You know, I wanted to go for the high risk play and make something clutch happen, and I was pretty confident about the pick.
Giga Chad attitude from an international rookie.
Giga Chad.
You're the first player to win MSI with 2 different teams from 2 different regions. Now, I remember that when we had a chat at the beginning of MSI, you were telling me that you did not have the confidence that you had with JDG in 2023. Do you have that confidence back today?
룰러 선수
100% crazy in any game.
최초로 2개의 팀에서 MSI 우승한 선수가 되었고 최초로 2개의 지역에서 MSI 타이틀을 거머쥔 선수가 되었습니다.
Is it the new Resident Evil
사실은
coming
MSI
out?
초반에 저희가 인터뷰를 나누었을 때 아직 23년도 징동에서만큼의 자신감을 갖고 있지 않다라고
Yeah, Resident Evil 9,
하셨는데
right?
자신감 많이 찾으셨나요?
아직은 아닌 것 같아요. 아직은 아닌 것 같고 그래도
Oh shit, that's what's up.
제일 잘 한다고 말할 수는 있을 것 같다 생각합니다. 이번 MSI에서는.
Actually, not yet. But I can say for sure that
Oh, Resident Evil. What is the other game that takes place in Japan?
Duro, you entered this year with a challenge, joining one of the most successful orgs that we have in League of Legends history. Having to write your own page in history, actually. How do you reflect
Is it
on the
Silent Hill? I
achievements
think it
that
is Silent Hill.
you
Yeah.
gained as a player from Genji with this run, and especially now that you're the MSI champion?
듀로 선수 올해는 정말 큰 도전이었습니다. LOL 역사상 정말 가장 성공적인 팀 중인 하나인 젠지에 합류하면서 스스로를 끊임없이 증명하셔야 했는데요. 이렇게 MSI 챔피언이 되신 만큼 본인이 이룬의 성과
Oh, Silent Hill
그리고
F.
성장에
That's
대해서
what I'm
어떻게
thinking of.
생각하시나요?
일단은 이 말을
That
먼저
game
해야
was
될 것
pretty sick
같습니다.
too.
젠지가 저를 좋게 봐주셔서 이 자리까지 오게 된 것 같고요.
I think it's a cool twist on like traditional horror games, just to have like a Japanese horror games, maybe with like yokai and stuff that come out. I think that'd be a super cool concept.
당연히 감토님들도 케어를 잘해주시고 해서 제가 충분히 이 자리까지 오게 될 수 있지 않았나 싶네요.
Especially because I feel like it'd be more surprising for me to like, because I hear all these like yokai, but like the context doesn't really make sense. But I feel like if there was a horror game like Silent Hill that was gonna push those boundaries, I feel like it'd be more understandable to kind of live through a perspective of like how that would be scary. You know what I mean? Because it's like some of them are just like, this motherfuckers just go missing with this. Like what? Like what? How? And it's like, oh, ocean woman. It's like what? Lake lady, or like shadow dog. It's like what the fuck? How does that make any sense? Oh yeah.
진짜 정말 너무 행복하고요. 일단 우선 행복하고.
No, exactly. The puzzle aspect of it is like another thing Like horror games are one thing to play through, and then you like get into the puzzle-based horror games where you gotta like solve some shit while you're just being freaked out half the time. That's like a whole different area that just like terrifies me. Because then it's like you got an objective, but then there's just shit popping up and like wanting to kill you constantly. And you just hear like the sounds in horror games go crazy too.
First off, the crowd.
Like how you'll hear like footsteps running and then it'll be like super bass driven footsteps where it's like behind you. Especially in like more recent horror games where like they have surround sound and shit. No, you probably remember all the jump scares and shit too or whatever, so it'd probably that'd probably be the you got cheat codes in that aspect.
And I think that Duro, you also
got the knowledge cheat code
today. Now I know that you and people already call you Madu Life, but what kind of support do you want to be remembered as?
주로 선수도 오늘 이 자리에서 본인 스스로를 성공적으로 증명해내셨습니다. 이미 많은 팬분들이 매 듀라이프라고 부를 정도로 주로 선수의 놀라운 플레이에 대한 칭찬을 아끼지 않는데요. 개인적으로 어떤
서포터로서 Is that a Chinese team or are they Korean? I don't know.
제 우상이 매드라이프 선수였는데 그때 시절에 매드라이프 선수가 진짜
젠지
그 기울 정도로 엄청난 명성을 떨치시고 이제 많은 롤의 역사를
Oh, it's Korean.
뒤바꾸셨는데
Okay.
저도 그 정도
Damn,
매드라이프
so they're probably
선수님처럼
rivals,
명성을
like,
쌓고 실력도 쌓을 수 있는
for their typical
그런
season.
선수가 되고 싶습니다.
In fact, Mad Life was my idol when I started. I always looked up to him because he's a support player that opened a new chapter.
Yeah, no, especially when that shit's gonna burn into your brain through trauma and like just jump scares. I'm not gonna forget that shit. That shit is being like if I go into like a real life situation, like I'm in like an abandoned building for some reason, and I like have played through a game that took place in an abandoned building, I'm like, I'm on guard, dude. Like I'm not. That shit, hell no.
제가 이 자리에 있기까지
I am not.
정말 많은 팬분들의 좀 도움이 있었는데요.
Like that shit will make me not go there anymore. Oh, quadruple check.
정말 그냥 이렇게 환호해 주시는 것도 너무 감사하고 그냥 모든 게 다 감사의 따름이라서 앞으로도 계속 좋은 모습 보여드리면서 저희 팀원들이랑 다 같이 나갈 수 있는 대회 다 나가면서 우승할 수 있는 모습 계속 보여드리고 잘하는 모습 보여드려서 계속 이렇게 환호성 받을 수 있게끔 할 테니까 또 많은 응원 부탁드리고 염치 없지만 항상 감사하고 오늘 하루도 좋은 하루 보내시길 바라겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Because of your support, because of your love, I was able to make it all the way here. Even this cheer coming from the crowd is what makes me happy. So I wish I can continue a great performance with my teammates, make it to every possible international and every event, and keep on winning titles in order to get more crowd cheering for us. So I would like to ask for one more cheer for
Bro got the grandpa stance. He's just chilling.
Thank you very much. I love you.
Dude on the left. That's Aura. He just held up his hand and everyone stopped.
Oh, thank you. 이제 제가 LCK 컵 때부터 지금까지 오는 과정 중에서
Wait, that wasn't Korean. He said thank you. Can't do that. Yeah, no, they just won. They beat one of the biggest teams in Korea. But they're also Korean, so I'm like, two Korean teams made it again to the League of Legends finals, the actual finals. Like that's insane. Like, I just want like an American team to put up a good fight, like it's like, or even a European team or anything. Like all the Asian teams are just so grind set. Their minds are just. It is the game.
There was a lot of ups and downs. I hit the bottom, bounced back. We were just going through all the thick and the thin. but thanks to the support from the fans and also the support from everyone working at Gen.G, the coaching staff, my teammates, we were able to make it happen. But this is not the end. I will make sure to keep this rolling until Worlds. Thank you so much.
It is just the beginning for this roster. Now, we have to honor another player from Gen.G. The 2025 OPPO Finals MVP. Chovy. A round of applause for Chovy.
Damn, that's a sick MVP. It's like a book. It's like a cursed book.
Chovy, congratulations. Amazing performance today. Amazing performance this MSI. But I remember that a couple days ago we talked about you standing once again at the top. And you were telling media that you were pressured about standing once again at the top. How do you feel now that you're the champion and the MVP of MSI?
축하드립니다. 초비 선수 며칠 전 인터뷰에서 다시 한번 결승 무대를 밟고 다시 한번 우승에 도전한다는 점에서 어느 정도의 부담이나 압박감도 있다고 하셨는데요. 이렇게 우승하셨고 또 파이널 MVP까지 되셨는데 어떠신가요?
사실 이제 다시
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it pretty soon. I'm getting so tired. I'm crashing.
오늘 경기하면서 그냥 이렇게 잘하는 경기력으로 상대랑 주고받고 하는 과정들이 너무 즐거웠고 그냥 경기 자체가 즐거우니까 부담감과 압박감보다는 그냥 오늘 너무 잘하고 싶다라는 생각이 들었는데 그게 이제 MVP까지 받을 정도로 좋은 실력을 보인 것 같아서 너무 만족스럽습니다.
Of course, challenging to win another title, going for the back-to-back title is a pressure, but throughout the series today, I realized the performance of both sides was so on point. It was going back and forth, and I was enjoying the process. I was just having so much fun playing the series, and then I realized because I was having so much fun and enjoying the moment, all the pressure goes away. I want to just focus on me performing well, and I think I was able to prove by winning this finals MVP. I'm very glad.
And winning MSI, winning one title is already very hard. A few players get to do it. Winning again, back to back, is even harder. What is your drive? What is your motivation? What pushes you to thrive and push yourself harder every time?
MSI 우승하는 것 자체가 굉장히 쉽지 않습니다. 소수의 선수만이 이뤄낼 수 있는 그런 목표인데요. 두 번 연.
That's cool. All right. Yeah, no, Ireland crazy, dude. It's probably humid too over there, right? You'll probably get like a lot of humidity. You could like swim outside. It's like step out your house and just whoosh. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me tonight. I am cooked. My brain is fried. No, that's what I'd imagine, yeah. That's probably where it comes from. You just need a dehumidifier, like outside your house. Save everybody. The world's biggest dehumidifier. But yeah, dude. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and follow you on all your stuff. Let me actually do that before I forget. I don't want to be that guy here. Boom, I got you. Hell yeah, dude. Alright. Well. Hell yeah, dude. Alright, I got you. Alright, man. I will catch you later. I'll probably be on around like like I was saying, like 8 Eastern Standard. I don't know what that translates to over there, but Google can help with that, I think. Alright, dude. Thanks for staying around. It's super great to meet you, and good luck with everything you're on right now. Definitely hit you about